card. Apparently, Drew, who is the blue one, has already elected to never use any of the best items in the game in terms of weapons. Already got that clicked off. So I guess that's going to be his play for a while until maybe he gets something else going. Our racers tonight are Drew, who is the blue one, Brianna, who will be a pinkish color, and Vibble, who's a kind of reddish orange on the bingo cards. And outside of the bingo, which is just get a line in any direction, our flags for tonight aren't that weird. We do have game time divided by 2.5 for our scaling. So for every minute, enemies will gain 2.5 levels. We had a go-go start and a random character who in this case turned out to be Mog. We have random commands. A few bosses sprinkle into all the encounters. A little bit of starting money. Slightly more random shops. Slightly less random chests than usual. I saw a hero ring there. I haven't noticed anything else amazing yet. We got no rods available, no Illuminas, no Paladin shields, no Ultima, and a few things visible in the Colosseum. So our runners do have some chances to do stuff there. Just saw Gigantos and a reset on Brianna's screen.
That was a very early reset, but I like Mog already, like starting with the jump being the natural spear kind of user, but it's going to be interesting if not using the Pearl Lance or the Aura Lance, passing on that for a very early character with early levels.
Yeah, Drew, interestingly, selling a hero ring right off the bat to stock up on items. There's some Megalixirs in that shop. Might see people come back for those later. Brianna going for just a fight in the plains, get some Behemoth and Misfit. I imagine she's going for the land a killing blow barehanded or the win a fight naked, although she probably would have taken more damage had she taken her equipment off. Those squares are very easy to do with a random encounter.
Kind of surprised that nobody's tried the Mog yet, just getting the check just over and done with.
It is not a favored check in this randomizer. It does take a while to get there. People paying attention to the bingo card will note that the middle square is to take the Lone Wolf's item instead of whatever the actual reward is. That
will set up the entire rest of the card, really. I mean, that takes out all the crosses and the diagonals. I mean, that's a really...
So you got to make that decision early. You can always go get that other reward, but it takes a while to walk through the mines to find it. And there's no other real reason to go there. But yeah, we'll see what people decide to do. Seeing some Warp Stones getting bought. A rename card in the first town. That's a solid buy because there's a square for rename and a character.
Very nice. I see a lot of the card like teach you in these random places. Like for instance, gathering like the 10 fish like marker. Nobody ever goes to that island when you play the randomizer. So
no, there's no reason to. So we don't really have an automatic bingo setup or objectives or anything. So you kind of have to pick things that are just universally available. For a lot of them, and then generate a bunch of seeds and then figure out what characters you have and what it is possible for people to do. Did Drulith just rename Mog Moj?
Yes, and Brianna named her Mog Pogo, so it's Go-Go and Pogo.
I approve of that. Certainly more than Moj.
Oh, and we have an early check there. That's Gao, who's going to be behind the Yeti.
Yeah, probably be a while before we see people go there. But, we'll see what happens. Oh, we're getting a Go-Go rename on Drew's screen as well. To Coin. For some... Oh, Moj Coin. I see what he's done. I get it. I get jokes.
Anything.
And Vibble just kind of wandering around.
Well, Vibble actually dropped Go-Go from the group to do the Go-Go check, so we might be doing a twofer here.
Oh, it's everybody's favorite character, Strago. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how they decide to play this. Drew going for the Strago. Brianna also going for Strago, which means that middle square is out of bounds for both of them.
Wow. Kind of surprised. What was the item? I didn't see what the item was.
Oh, some kind of garbage.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's almost universally some kind of garbage.
so Strago is slightly above garbage, is what we're saying.
I would have taken the garbage and just taken the extra minute or whatever to go find him in the World of Ruin, because that middle square is an important square, because it's in the middle.
And
Opens up a lot of stuff.
I believe that's Edgar. Yep.
Yep, that is Weirdo Edgar. Interestingly, there is... Where is it? There is, in the middle square on the left side, killing a boss with one character, which could have you could have gotten 2 squares on this with just doing that by letting Strago go and killing the boss that I happen to know is quite easy here with a single character.
I haven't looked ahead yet, so I'm not gonna. Don't want spoilers. Don't want to be surprised of this, but yeah, I mean, at low levels, it's a big risk, but with jump, it kind of gets you out of harm's way, so that might have been a little easier than normal.
Yeah. It's definitely not most people's idea of a fun time to try to do Kefka Nerf solo, but you can pretty easily gain some levels on your way there or whatever. And again, the racers do all know that this is a custom seed that I vetted, so it's all doable pretty easily. Oh, Vibble getting tossed to the ground. This is why get all the treasures in Zone Eater is a square, because it's kind of annoying.
That back corner one and having to do the loop twice in the third room there does take a bit of time.
Yep, unless you get really lucky on this third Chancellor walking back and forth, you're usually going to be spending a bit more time than you would think doing this. I personally would get past this guy, go to the save point, and then try to get the chest, because I think resetting is just faster, because you don't have to worry about this guy stealing so much of your time like it's doing for Vibble right now.
Plus, trying to get on the opposite side of that bridge will get you on that side already, and then you just dropping down can get the other 2 chests, so...
Yeah. It's not the most fun thing to do in the game. Looks like Drew's going for the Nerf security room, another place you would normally never see anyone go. There's no real reason to go in here, though Atma has hinted that maybe that Moogle battle from the start of the game will get added in as a check at some point in the future. Ooh, Vibble getting the back and forth in one go there. Yeah. That's the most difficult part done.
Save it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what you gotta do. You don't want to get all squishified. Drew showing off the sneaky way to get through that security room, where you just hold A whilst looking up, and it will just break that thing apart without you having to even worry about the whisper. Interestingly, a thing I didn't consider, there's the pallets are messed with, so that messes up the visibility of that whisper fight. Oh, it's a squinch for Vibble at the last possible instant.
Oh. Yeah, that's one pancake mogul.
Yeah, that's why you take the save.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do the dance on the bridge anymore.
No, so Brianna has successfully won a fight naked and landed a killing blow barehanded, kind of an easy thing to double up, which is why they're in 2 different rows.
So she's right on track with now dragons are you can add dragons to a condition on the randomizers here, but for this purposes we have it as a bingo card.
Oh, Vibble got squished again in the same place. Oh, and that just looked like unfortunate input, because he took a step to the left instead of a step down. But, you know, sometimes if you're playing with, say, an Xbox 360 controller, I know for a fact you're going to move to some wrong places.
Yeah, I've run into that with my controller, especially if you're going wireless. It just keeps going in a direction you don't want it to sometimes.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Vibble having
just
some
like that.
having some issues with the movement, but hopefully can get through this. Drew going for the out of the way chests thing.
Yeah, let's just forget about that last chest for now.
Looking for Miranda, you can tell it's not a place he's used to going.
No.
But for this check, you have to go to Duncan/Savin's house in the World of Balance. You have to go to the Coliseum owner's house in the World of Balance, and Miranda in either world to pick up the 4 chests.
I do sometimes stop. Ooh, there's a Minerva in that shop, actually. I usually do stop at this town just briefly because there's that one item just inside the steps of the town. So it's a pretty quick pickup, and there's a Magicite for Bible.
Oh, there are Minervas in that shop. Drew apparently picked the correct world to go to in terms of where he went to Miranda. There's also enhancers for sale, which are pretty useful. Brianna now showing off the first boss of the game, the Tunnel Armor.
That's not too
One
bad.
of the least threatening bosses in the game. And that is why I said it might be possible to do this with a single character right off the bat. It does look like she has forgotten to give Mog a weapon, though, since he's just butt-stomping the machine.
Or just headbutting with the little bauble on top.
And Drew Lith has successfully found a hero ring in Duncan's house.
Replaces the one you sold.
Yeah. Oh, wipe for Brianna on Tunnel Armor after all of that level gaining. Not great for timing.
Oh, but she's going to try with Strago solo, so we still have she still has a chance of doing a solo battle with Strago. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Strago does have Dance, and he's got a Dance with Windslash and Sunbath on it as the 2 primaries, if I'm recalling correctly from
not that bad.
From the brief show I had earlier. So that's definitely doable. Luck being with her, which is always a big question with Dance.
Drew is stacking some earrings from the relic shop in South Figaro.
Yeah, kinda. In most cases, just the best all-around relic you can have. Raises your magic power and raises it more if you've got 2.
And with the characters he has, they're innately higher magic power than other characters are in the game, except for, of course, the Murder Child. But
yes. Brianna making the interesting choice of just straight up hitting this Aranid with a stick instead of using Dance, perhaps. She has forgotten that Dance can no longer stumble these days, so I would definitely be going for that Sunbath proc. Keep me alive. I hasn't even looked at them. Yeah, Windslash, Sunbear, Sunbath, Wild Bear, Sunbath. So
50-50 chance of bathing yourself, I guess.
I think it's 7 out of 16 for the first thing, and then 5 for the second one. So it's pretty much more than half of what you're gonna do are the first 2 things.
Drew with a second go around of South Figaro.
Oh, and Strago with the 1 health. Can he pull off a Sunbath before he dies? There's a block.
Block!
And a
no.
kill. Not working out for Brianna so far. Really kind of gotten into that sunk cost fallacy, it would seem there. But has finally taken the reset.
That's rough. I know trying to get the levels in there early, trying to sneak that in there, but in the end.
Vibble has finally clicked on his bingo square there.
Oh, she saved it before getting Strago, so she has to do the Strago thing all over again, too.
Oh, might go for the middle thing this time. I would. But, yeah, it's not an ideal situation. You would have to probably go get some... Oh, no, going for the middle square.
Oh-ho!
So she just let Strago drop to his death.
Oh, man.
And we'll presumably just have to go gain some levels or something to come back for that fight. Or, as I said before, you can just walk straight into Nourish World of Ruin and go get Strago. Brianna just looking for a fight.
Oof. I always get worried about these fights when I do these fights in caves. I always get something very hard or very high defense.
This is not a fight I would be super happy about finding, because they do tend to just sneeze you away, and then no experience for you. Experience egg for Vibble, though, in that Ciderman chest.
That'll be a big for doing a solo kill on a boss or something.
Yep, the standard phrase in the community is that experienced eggs win fights. Drew looking for Doomgaze. So for those who don't know, Doomgaze shows up in not quite a random square. He has certain ones that he can be on and others that he mostly can't. And he just kind of picks one every time you get in the airship. So the way to find him is just to turn slightly off north and hold A until you run into him. Is what Drew is doing now. So if he can get through whatever this Doomgaze fight is, he'll pretty much have a bingo square real early on. But Drew is one of the better racers in the community, known at the moment for his long-standing attempt to get sub 110 on a standard race seed, which is ridiculous.
Also, Brianna lost the kill a blow with bare hand. She lost that.
And the naked fight. So
yeah, so she lost a couple of squares by that reset.
Unfortunate, but that is the danger of going all in on Kefka at Nash. Drew has crossed most of the world so far. The worry here is that if you don't... Oh, he's going for the fish.
Yeah, he's like that with it.
If you go a bit too far off to the right or the left, it becomes a lot slower to actually pass over every square in the map. So you gotta be wary of that. There's a bird. Well, I don't think he's going to be concerned about the talk to the animals square.
But is that really the word?
It's a word.
Well, I mean, if you talk to the bird, it's a word.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And giant snakes for Brianna. Looks like Vibble's going for some South Figaro loot, as is a fairly standard play in this rando. Drew just trying to catch all the fishies.
There you go. Yum, yum, yum.
Nom, 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 nom. And I'm not sure why he's talking to Sid. You don't have to do that. You just need to leave the screen.
Come back, does they immediately refresh the fish, or I don't remember.
As far as I recall from the last time I had this as a square, you just have to walk out of the screen and come back in.
Ah. I think that's 10.
I'm sure he's keeping track. I'm certainly not.
I think he's over 10 now.
Entirely possible. The difficulty here is if you're not keeping track, the game does not do a good job of it. It doesn't, like, if you only got one or two, it kind of keeps them in their quality rankings, like Tasty Fish and Garbage Fish and whatever. But once you get a few of them, it just stacks them in groups of 4 with whatever name. And then it can only stack to, like, 2 stacks of 4 or something. It's weird. It's weird. But Drew successfully has all the fish. Now I presume he will resume his search for Doomgaze.
Yep, because he only needs that one square left.
And then he will just be going pretty much straight for Kefka's Tower as soon as possible. It being Drew and him having all the speeds. Because he does practice the game a lot.
No, I thought Doomgaze had a higher frequency at the bottom of that fish hook there on the southeast side there.
As far as I'm aware, he just picks at random from one of the squares he can appear on. So there might be more squares he can appear on there than there are, like, a higher density of them there. I'm not sure. It's never something I've bothered to because it barely matters.
Huh.
Brianna has found a hero ring in a bucket. Also, according to the no ultimate weapon square, going for that as well. Now, there are always lines and columns that are going to be easier or harder. Because, again, there's no automated process for this. It was basically just me going... And, you know, I really thought people were going to be going for that right column.
Ooh. Oh!
Did Drew just get a dead?
Drew just got roasted.
Ah, he found an Ifrit in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's the same. At least he knows where it is now.
Well, it won't be in the same place anymore.
Oh, no. Okay.
It changes every time you get into the airship. But, yeah. So I was expecting people to go for that right column, because it's easy. I imagine the 36 coral was scaring people off.
Yeah,
but you get Strago immediately, and getting that much coral is like an extra 60 seconds over doing the check normally.
Yeah, we were talking before we started when we took a peek at the bingo card, and you and I both said that right fifth column was probably the best one, but apparently at least two of our racers thinks the second column is the easiest one to do.
Yep. I mean, if you're willing to accept that you're never going to use an ultimate weapon, I guess I can see that, but I personally wouldn't have immediately gone for that. You're going to save a lot of time, especially in a seed where you start with jump and your commands are random. I would be rather more concerned about being able to do a bunch of damage pretty easily than... You know, and you might just decide later, see what happens first, and then not just go straight onto that one square. But two of the runners decided that was where they were going right away, and I guess they're sticking to it.
Well, Drew just found I believe he bought a Super Ball.
He's bought a lot of Super Balls.
So, so at least maybe he can get through a boss battle with it.
Maybe.
I think everybody's still like around level 3 still.
Yeah, the only one really who's taken fights is Vibble and Brianna, but Brianna only took like one or two. Going for Doma, I guess. There is some treasure there, but not a place I would normally consider for looting. It's a bit out of the way, and the treasure is
5-6 chests technically.
1, 2, 3. There's 4 or 5-ish, yeah.
And one in Saiyan's family room.
Yeah, I would at least go for World of Ruin. And if you're willing to take the time to go there, there's an extra 2 chests. But maybe Brianna doesn't know you can't get there in the World of Balance. Or maybe she went to the World of Ruin and I didn't notice?
No, I haven't seen her switch.
Because I distinctly recall there being a rock there that prevents you from getting the beads in the base game. Ooh, nice shield though. That'll be helpful. Anytime you get an elemental shield in this game, it's usually pretty solid. Drew getting sucked into an eggplant with teeth. Vibble just fighting a bunch of undeads.
Never a good thing, actually, but...
Well, when I buy my eggplants from the store, I always check to make sure they don't have teeth.
Yeah, make Parmesan out of it.
Just don't want to be eating teeth in the middle of an eggplant dinner. It's not a pleasant experience.
There you go. So he's just going right straight for the back room there.
Not taking the safety save.
Either, no.
The difficult part about that specifically in this randomizer is if that first chest has a slightly longer name than the vanilla item, you can just get squished because you don't have the time to get to the second thing.
Yep, and he made it through.
Yep. Not going for all of the chests, presumably, because he basically just needs to kill Doomgaze, and he already knows it's just Ifrit, so why bother with other stuff? He finds Stray, which has life 3, and did
Haste.
not see what the...
Haste 2 and quarter.
Yeah, what was the stat up?
Oh, I didn't see the stat.
Neither did I. Putting Mog back in the party and the Go-Go. Vibble still just jumping on some stuff. Oh, and I just noticed our restreamer, Grimwolf, has he's got little bingo numbers in there, along with the rest of the tracking information. So that's nice.
That's a very nice touch.
Oh, it was Magic +2 on that, Esper, says the chat. That's
really
pretty
good.
much the nicest thing you can find at the start of the game.
And with all the earrings to stack on top of that, that'd be very nice.
Yep. Brianna having the traditional fight with the Chancellors here, who live in Zone Eater, I guess, on a bridge. I don't understand those guys. They're weird. And Vibble going for Nourish, presumably to check out that Mog. Check. And Drew... Oh, sorry, Brianna gets that other chest at the far end. So presumably going for just any square you can get. I mean, if it's an extra 10 or 20 seconds for something you're doing anyway, you might as well check it.
Yeah, might as well get it.
But, yeah. You know, unless you're like Drew and you just kind of set on that first square and just going for it wholeheartedly. He just has to kill an Ifrit Shiva fight, which is not usually that difficult, as long as you don't find that fight immediately, when, you know, Fire or Ice 1 can straight up wipe your party.
Yeah, level 3, yeah, it's not a good thing to run into.
No, outside of that, not usually the most difficult fight in the world. But
now this is Viable's first time going on top of the hill with the wolf, so
yeah, we'll have to see if he opts for Strago or the square.
Bard's Hat. Huh?
Oh, hooray!
Going for it, Bard's Hat.
Well, as I said before, I would definitely go for that square. And it looks like he's going to go... Well, he does have some levels, so killing Tunnel Armor at level 10 with a jumping Mog should not be that difficult. He also has a lot more gear than the other people do. So we might have our first Edgar get on Vibble's screen in a little bit here.
And Edgar definitely would really get Viable rolling.
Yeah, Edgar does have kind of three checks. He's got 2 in a castle and 1 under the castle. Usually done all in a row.
And they're all...
Oh yeah, you can really see Vibble struggling with his controller here. I'm gonna ask him what's going on there. Because he can't seem to land on the square he wants to, unfortunately. Oh, and he got a back attack. From a soldier, not from the scorpions that the soldier threw at him. Drew...
And scorpions thrown in the back at you is never a good thing.
No, I mean, I hate when people do that to me.
Oh, but he's gonna... bomb himself up.
This is never a good thing if you get in a fight there, because you can wind up with a bit of bad timing. Well, there's a different bit of bad timing, running into the rider. But not a particularly dangerous fight, and Vibble is sitting on some smoke bombs.
Yep.
So now we have Vibble's try at Tunnel Armor.
And this would be also the solo fight.
Oh, also, one of the most useful times to have haste is if you have a jumper, because their battle speed does affect the speed at which they come down from the sky. Electing to use a quarter or demi or whatever that was.
That was quarter and it failed, unfortunately.
Yeah. Not generally a spell that's gonna do you any good in this game, unfortunately. And 316 damage. Now we are at let's see,
30 minutes. About.
30 minutes. So it's level, I don't know, 18ish. I feel like I did that math wrong. I'm not gonna worry about it. Druilith is Ifriting. Who dat? Do the math for me. You're a math guy.
I am not. I was going to ask you how that worked.
I don't want to get a calculator. I'm not good at mental math.
I've been out of college for 20
Drew
years.
again taking the wipe to Ifrit.
No! Oh no! I think you're gonna have to find. Oh no, there's no fire shields like I said at the beginning, so it can't even have a fire ice shield to help block that.
Unfortunately, no. It looks like Vibble might be our first person to actually kill a boss. Drew really having some trouble. I think he's got too set on one idea. He's probably gonna have to change up what he's trying to do here.
No, he already took Strago, so you can't go up the diagonal.
Nope. But he is going for Ebbets Rock.
Okay, so that could be for Coral too. So you can do the crossways, which would be the Pay Fanatic, collect all the charges on here, which he didn't do. He skipped the chest. So you'd have to go back in. You'd have to get swallowed again to get the last chest he missed. 2 chests.
Yeah, I think he's probably still gonna sit on that go fight Doomgaze idea. But
Yeah.
maybe now try to fight an easier boss first, get a level or two. I personally would have just taken a couple random fights, because Ifrit is not a difficult boss. You basically just need to be level, I don't know, 6 or 8, so you have decent enough health and magic defense to not insta-die. Yeah, as our tracker is saying, just be not level 3.
Yeah.
So, Hudad has successfully done the math for me, and the enemies will be at approximately level 13.
Yeah, so level 3 versus level 13, that's not going to work. And tunnel armor goes down, so that is a square
That is...
solo fight.
That's a solo fight for Vibble, and the first boss kill, and he gets Edgar, so... solid piece of work there.
Brianna's going up the hill again.
Still with the Moogle charm off, fighting some more Adamantiates.
Yeah, that don't take kindly to physical damage.
No, they've got too much Corona, and you just punch it out of them. We're getting an Edgar rename. Going for E. Oh, is he just gonna name it memes?
Yeah.
Just say bonus point for memes. That's the one. Bonus points.
So he's looking like he's working diagonally, so it'd be talk to the dudes on top of the left and right towers of Figaro. So he has Edgar, so he's gonna go to the castle anyways. And the last one is watch 2 cutscenes. So that's a pretty easy path for him now the rest of the way for the bingo card.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, it's hard to have perfectly neutral things in this bingo. So a lot of them are just kind of time sinks, and sometimes you wind up, that's a dead Atma already. I couldn't even finish my sentence.
Yeah, I was going to say Super Bowling Atma to death here.
So showing the viability of Super Balls there, they are not my favorite item. I find they're so unreliable as to be obnoxious.
But
Drew gets a Ragnarok Esper.
Ooh. But when you take away the shields, and you take away the rods, and you take away all that stuff, all you have is, and you have Super Balls available, that's like your next thing, to try to clear those early bosses quickly, so...
Yeah, in some cases, I would personally just go for a couple fights over a Super Ball strat. I'm not big on relying on luck, especially with the items in this game. But, some people love them some Super Balls.
So what you're saying is you're not a fixed dice user either.
I am not. Fixed dice are both unreliable and slow. Although, if you have a dragon horn and you jump with the fixed dice, it's a much better way of doing it than using the offering. Because it's not a really slow animation.
I am a fixed dice offering user, though. I will say that is one of my keys for winning for me personally. Yes, it is a little slower, but the opportunity of getting quad 9s to get through a fight is pretty good for me. So.
Oh, if they work, they're great. Especially at certain difficult parts of the game. I would pretty much stop using them about a third to halfway through if I want to go fast.
Speaking of going fast, one Super Ball.
Yep, Ifrit is not a dangerous boss. You just have to be able to not be level 3. And actually get a Super Ball off in this case. Yeah, exactly. Brianna going for Kefka at Narsh again. Drew finds a Valiant Knife, one of the better weapons in the game, but he has already elected not to use one.
Well, that would be good for monies then.
Yep, and they're not squares he's going for, and he does already have a bingo. So he won't need to worry about the squares that require money. But there's basically $160,000 worth of squares that require money that he does not have to worry about. So Brianna going again for Kefka at Narsh. Looks like she's trying to land that killing blow with a punch.
Yep, that's
not something...
This is round 3 for her in the Kefka fight.
Yep. Going for the naked fight. Killing blow. Just with the punches.
Most people have clothes on anyway, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, I guess they are just naked. It just... Yep. Unless you're Bert's, in which case the Moogle is your clothes.
Okay.
Or if you're Realm. A lot of people like to wear Moogles as clothing. Brianna just standing in the corner, waiting. Get past Kefka. Drew also going for the can fight.
Yeah, they're high-fiving each other right now. Bible's going through the Edgar checks.
Yep. Presumably we'll be seeing a fair number of people going through those checks in the next little while.
My favorite checks to do, actually. It's just I know it takes like a little while. Genji armor's good. I know it takes a little while to get through them because you have to wind up through a cave, then wind through a castle, then wind through a castle again. But it's just a nice check to do. I just like them.
Not one of my more favorite sets of checks. But there is a bunch of treasure if you're willing to give it a bit. Yeah, it's also not one of the checks I particularly dislike. Oh, it's Albino Setzer.
That's those are 2 pretty good checks too. One kind of medium length one. So.
Yep, and the ability to search the skies if you don't want to do what Drew did and spend like 10 minutes looking for Doomgaze and dying.
I will laugh when he actually gets Setzer. He's like, I didn't have to do all that sweet.
No, he wanted that square.
I know he wanted the square, but I mean, he's got it anyways.
So one of the nice things about the Edgar checks in this particular bingo card, as I believe was mentioned, is there is a square that requires you to go here. And I'm going to sneeze at some point in the indeterminate future.
Hover that mute button.
Or I'm not. So that was fun. Wasn't that exciting for everyone?
You just let everybody down with the temptation of that.
Well, they should get used to me letting them down.
Oh.
It'll be easier in the long run.
Expectations.
Drew, just throwing his balls all over the place.
Everybody's throwing their balls over the place at this time.
Yeah. Brianna looks like she's going for the quick check, just going for the Figaro Castle itself, maybe in the hopes that she can skip the longer portions of this. Sometimes that pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Vibble fighting Kefka on the Danger Noodles with slots. Probably Drew's, well, maybe not his favorite thing, but the thing he's most known for in the community is his love and knowledge of slots. So maybe he'll be very happy to see that. Maybe he won't.
Slots is a very rhythmic thing. It's the same keystroke every single time. So once you get that pattern down, you can just do it. So
yeah, he's the one that knows how to do like reverse. Oh yeah, and he named his slots user easy.
Easy, there it is.
Oh no, he's still going for that Moj coin easy money. Really laying into that joke.
How many bonus points have they gotten so far with the naming?
I'm giving them to Vibble.
Okay.
I'm straight up giving them to Vibble. For taking me literally. Well, yeah.
Brianna's doing the talk on top of the towers.
Yep. Not a place you'd normally ever go. And it does take a little while to walk around and get to those places, but it's not, a particularly enormous hassle. So Brianna... Sorry?
I like that route, though, like not having to go...
Oh, yeah, going around.
To get across, so yeah.
So all that's left for Brianna and Vibble is the cutscenes. And I have provided the runners with a list of some of the cutscenes. I couldn't possibly check all of them because that would take forever. Some of the cutscenes that still exist in the game. So Vibble and Brianna kinda 2 minutes to do that square, and they'll be fine. Which means all of our runners are pretty close to a bingo. We can see Drew using his pause buffering there on the slots. Obviously gonna be super happy about finding those. Seems like the only damage spell I've seen is Bio on that Ragnarok Esper, but
yeah, not the greatest.
Yeah.
Good on human targets, but not much else.
And interestingly, not good on Kefka or like any of the quote-unquote man bosses.
Yeah.
This game is kind of weird about how it sets up weaknesses. You'd think sometimes that you have some idea of what's going on, and then it turns out, no, there's exceptions for everything. Pearl Lance, yep, in that Figaro check, and if you start with a natural jumper, that's kinda amazing.
Yeah,
there's dried meat in there as well.
Yeah, Vibble wasn't going for that row anyway, so. And actually, Brianna decided to take her tag off that one too.
Yep, they've both. Well, Brianna was originally going for that, but has apparently decided, nah.
It's hard to give up the damage, especially when for Brianna, she's got a lot of different directions on the card, so that's just one thing she doesn't really have to do. So.
And she has now found an experience tag.
Experience tag, yep. So everybody has one now.
Yeah, so always good to find those. We're still at a point in the race where they're going to be useful. you never want to find one in the middle of Kefka's tower, generally.
Yeah, it's tough times there.
Yeah. So, still kind of looking at the bingo card very clearly in the lead in terms of characters and espers acquired, with 99 votes. Brianna at 3 characters, 2 espers, Drew 4 characters, 2 espers, and Vibble 4 characters, 1 esper, and kind of on a different track to the others, although Drew is now heading into the Edgar checks.
Yep, going to that Kefka battle there.
Ooh, and Brianna has found a dragon horn, so that is a nearly perfect setup for Mog there.
And that is in a place where usually nobody goes to because it's so long to walk all the way around that backside and walk back over. So being rewarded for that.
Yeah, it's one of those chests that you don't see a lot of people get. As you said, it is kind of long to get there. There's a few like that, like the bottom left chest in the lava room in the sealed gate. No one ever gets. Usually the chest where you meow as a cat in the Imperial camp. No one ever gets that. There's a few like that where it's just you could get them and they're technically in a place you already are, but they're out of the way. So Drew about to fight Kefka at Danger Noodles. Vibble working his way down towards the ancient castle, and it looks like Brianna's just gonna loot South Figueroa. And why not if you're already there?
Yep.
I don't know that I noticed anything particularly great in the shops for her. It would be a great place to have something worth buying, since Edgar does reduce the prices by half in World of Ruin South Figueroa for some reason. Drew... Yeah, not in World of Balance. Just in the World of Ruin, when people really need money, because the entire world blew up. Then they decide that their king, deserves a break.
He is a stingy king, apparently.
Yeah, whereas his brother is a notorious spendthrift. Drew still going for those pause bufferings on the slots. Not sure whether or not he's trying to exploit the RNG on those yet. I do know that he knows how to do that, but he has repeatedly said it's not viable in every seed. So if we start seeing a whole bunch of Joker Dooms or reverse Joker Dooms, or the harder to get things, then we'll know that he's been trying for that. But until then, he's just good at slots. So everybody now in the Figaro Castle area. Gonna be a bit of retreading of ground, so why don't people watching go take a minute to follow our runners? And, putting on a show for you tonight, giving you some entertainment, and go follow the streamy staff too. We got Naku and Grimwolf doing great work in the background. We got Saberwolf doing his first commentaries for us, and I'm here for some reason. I'm always here.
You're always here.
I'm always here. I have nowhere else to go.
But not forever alone, so I'm here for that.
Well, that's nice. Well, you'll be gone in a couple hours.
Ah!
Well, yeah, go give some follows to our peoples, and go give a follow to, I think, yeah, I'm a mod here now. I can do this.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do this. One thing I will say on the bingo card, though, is that I'm really surprised the runners didn't do is 4 wins at a Coliseum. Like, seeing what items, even if they were going for no Illumina, no Ragnarok, seeing what items they could start with earlier in the game, and getting a bingo space at the same time, so...
Yep, especially if you start with Jump, that's gonna get you past a lot of the nastier random things that might happen to you at the Coliseum. But I have also linked there in the Twitch chat our official Worlds Collide Twitchy page, where we have most of the non-weekly things, and as of next month, all our weeklies as well. since Randomania is unfortunately on its last legs at the moment. Game Boy has decided to discontinue the platform, which is unfortunate, but you can find us there.
We're doing some ladders soon, I believe.
Yep, we do have a newly instituted ladder season going on, thanks to Javinator. That officially starts next week. I believe the goal there is for it to go on for 3 months and then have some sort of final restreamed 4-way races or something. Invest in Mogecoin. Really going all in on this joke.
Yeah. Viable doing dancing with the dragon there. Oh, there's the Valiant Knife. Wow.
I really think Vibble did not want to fight that.
I don't think, no. Especially when you don't have flow. I mean, you do have a couple of jumps, but...
Yeah, Durgan is probably the worst Durgan in the game. It's either that or the Storm Durgan.
Yeah, I remember doing our Seed of the Week this past week, and yeah, running face first into that dragon twice I did not end up too well. Immediate earthquake, immediate magnitude 8, and just done.
Yeah, he's kind of nasty. Getting some nice proc there off that Pearl Lance, though, for a solid almost 4K. And, if you have slots, use slots. They're not bad. They're not great if you don't super know what you're doing, but if you can pretty much guarantee you're gonna get that 7 flush / Chocobop, usually worth using.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew now getting a second Valiant Knife. His first came from quote-unquote Doomgaze.
That is actually pretty good if anybody can actually use it.
Yeah, and to answer a chat question, our runners have to complete a line of bingo before going to kill Kafka. And
I believe they could be in the tower, they just can't actually
yeah.
Kafka.
Like that Durgan Square you could complete in Kafka's tower. It's just you're not allowed to go fight the last boss. Unless there's a square specifically related to the last boss, which there isn't today.
Well, there is one with the toilets, though.
Yes, you have to kill Toilet Atma.
Kill Toilet Atma, yeah.
And then use his toilets. Vibble has successfully killed the Dirt Durgan with 1 character and 100 healths left.
A lucky mogul comes through.
And Brianna about to enter the ancient castle. Vibble finds some fixed dice off of that Durgan.
So a Valiant Knife and a fixed dice on the same spot.
Yeah, that would be an interesting combination to Genji offering. But, if you're Drew and you've got the 2 Valiant Knives, then you've got a better option.
Yeah, Valiant Knife and fixed dice, going low health. I mean, that's triple risk right there.
Yeah, it would not be a combination I'd go for, certainly.
I gamble, but not much.
Yeah, you're really going to be pushing your luck with that. Drew now heading to Kalingen.
Brianna sidesteps the dragon.
Going for one of the chests you don't normally see people get. It has a chainsaw in it. In the back of the weird old dude keeping Rachel as a zombie house.
Yeah, the mummified Rachel's kind of,
Oh, and Drew has found snipers. One of the selling the Valiant Knife pretty clearly going to be trying for some sort of sniper strat as we go forward. I have not seen an offering or a Genji glove yet, which means they're not going to be amazingly useful, but they are one of the better weapons in the game. Like top tier if you're not allowed to use the actual top tier.
Right.
Especially when you get to the final boss, because pretty much every part of it is floating. And if you have a sniper, it has a chance to basically proc throw if something is flying. Which does a lot of damage, because throw is ridiculous.
Yes, the throw is very good. It's a very. You have a lot of range between the ninja star, the skins, so you can do elemental, you do physical. I mean, it's one of the rare ones, other than tools, that you can just base different kind of elemental and physical damages. So.
Yep. You can, with throw, hit every elemental weakness, which is not something that's easy to do with pretty much anyone else.
Nah, because you got dance versus random, lore, which you have to learn them all and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very. I was trying, and I think Bible just went to each tower. No?
I think perhaps he thought there was another dude at the top tower.
Oh, okay. I was confused at why he was going at the middle there. So.
Or perhaps he did not understand the square.
Yeah, I don't think
entirely possible.
Square. They haven't checked it though, so.
Yeah, he hasn't checked it, so maybe he just doesn't know how to get there, like Grimwolf said. It's not a place you normally go, even in the base game. Because you do actually have to leave the castle.
Yeah, like ran it and go up and around the backside to avoid all the loading screens.
Yeah, you gotta walk around in the sand. Drew doing something interesting here. Not something I've seen before. I can see how it would probably save a few seconds. Hitting the switch to do whatever that does with the turtle, and then warping out, walking back in.
Yeah, so they went to the bottom, opened the door, warped out, and then walked straight down back into the building, or the tomb.
Yeah, it's probably saved, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds there. And if you got warp stones kicking around and you're the person trying to go for sub 110s as a general statement, he has found force armor, and apparently is not pleased about it.
I missed the what sets her. Oh no!
And it's a goddess guarding that force armor. Isn't that nice?
So I almost just want to just reset then, but
well, it's just a force armor, and there's a goddess guarding it. You might as well reset. I can.
This is one of the hardest ones.
Unlike the runners, I did know that everything was locked behind Straga. So I find this very amusing because the first choice they had to make was whether or not to have to take extra time to get Strago. And then later on you find out, oh, I need...
And the only one that has Strago is Drew.
Yep. So those other two are going to have to figure out that, which is unfortunate, because that's going to take a bit. And people hate them some Strago checks. Brianna has found a Katana Soul, so that'll give her an offering to work with. Ooh, and actually using Stray to confuse the Katana Soul. That's a nice play.
Oh, there it goes.
Unfortunately, she then hit, or sorry, he didn't hit himself properly. And I don't think she has any other way of confusing it, so I'm just gonna have to fight it out. Like she's playing Ogre Battle. That's a reference people might get. This is an old game.
Oh, Ogre Battle 64 is one of my favorite.
That's the only one I've ever played. I had a copy once, and it didn't work on the actual 64, and I've never gotten it to work on an emulator. I
still have it. I still play it.
Drew has found a Numero at the Fanatics Tower. Everyone's favorite check and character, and he's just leaving.
Yeti praising the tower is very, very interesting.
What I have done, Ravlin, is rolled like 30 seeds, and this was the first one that sort of worked as a bingo. You gotta make the choice of whether to leave Strago behind and go get him in the World of Ruin at the start, and then you're given another character, and you're like, well, I'll just go do that character's checks, and that'll be fine. And that character gives you another character, and then that doesn't lead anywhere. And then there's two characters. There's a character in Fanatic's Tower, and there's a character in Burning House, and that either of those will get you through the rest of the scene.
So Brianna's really debating about whether or not to do Katana right now.
I mean, if she really wants that offering, she's right next to a save point. Could just use Stray and see if it uses Slayer Edge. Depends how much time you want to waste on the gambles. And then a nice Goddess Feist to round everything off.
And Drew actually going for the Yeti after all.
Well, it is a character. And Fanatic's Tower, if you've got, any sort of magic and the boss isn't awful, gonna be faster than Burning House overall. And there's a great item at the top.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to look forward to. And like you said, Strago, nobody likes doing Strago checks. They're very hard to do. So having to, and knowing, like, you're gonna get the Yeti, you already know you have another character after that one with Yao, because you got the check earlier.
Ooh, Drew sitting on that box until the Dragon Walk patched. Very clever play there.
He was hiding in the shadows.
Hiding in the shadow of the text box. Brianna in World of Ruin, Nersh. About to find out the security room doesn't exist. It's only in the World of Balance.
Bro.
And the item at the top of Kefka's Tower is an economizer. Kefka's Tower, Fanatic's Tower. I guess it's still Kefka's.
Yeah, true. But I mean, that is really huge with the early Stray with the +2 magic, and an earring for if Wooly were still running with Strago, he's not, so he's still got Mogul, still got Go-Go.
Yeah.
That magic power boosting, that's going to be a really good item. But, big but, still haven't even made damaging spells. All I've seen is ice. All I've seen is ice tube. So,
and fire.
Yeah.
Brianna, find Strago in a Nutkin suit. So now she can go do Strago checks. Won't that be fun? And Drew fighting some piranhas that were very, very fast.
That was really quick to the leader.
Yep. Not usually going to be that fast. That's kind of the low end. Vibble's still having kind of a tough time getting through this Shiva fight. I think he's wearing a Pearl Lance with Mog and just hasn't realized that's not doing any damage. And Drew gets through the piranha fight through use of his balls again.
That just sounds bad.
I'm just describing his balls.
You're describing it.
What do you want from me?
And yeah, I saw that too. Mini ball for only 250 damage. That had to hurt too.
Yeah, it's not going to be a nice time. Vibble really struggling through this fight. Does have health though on Setzer. Unfortunately, Setzer is also dead. So we'll have to see if Vibble has realized that he needs to take that lance off of Mog because it is wholly elemental, and is therefore going to do no damage.
Doesn't work in either one of them, yeah.
Yeah, both of the bosses in this boss fight can only be hurt by their actual elemental weakness. Fire and ice.
The opposite of each other.
Yeah.
So what's in the bonus room here on Drew?
Earrings! Yay!
I think he has like 6 or 7 of those now.
You can never have enough unless you have more than 8.
Brianna going for the corals, not exactly in the line that she was doing on the bingo card.
might just be trying to do Abbott's Rock.
Drew
Little
is the
hard
only
to
one that's
say.
completed it still. And it looks
Yeah.
like Brianna and Viral are both going the same route, which would be watch two cutscenes later on. I'll talk later soon.
Yeah, and those can be pretty much, as I said earlier, you can crank those out in under 2 minutes. And so Brianna's about to fight Natma. Not
Surprise.
usually a boss people are happy to find, and Vibble has finally killed Ifrit and Shiva. He will be rewarded with a Valiant Knife. That's not ideal for a fight that took that long.
Hmm.
But he did manage to get Setzer back on his feet, so that's some experience there. Only one of them missing out. And Valiant Knives, if Bible goes for actually killing that Katana Soul, that could be very useful.
Yep, and Vibal's now.
Oh, Brianna also making the mistake of not taking the Pearl Lance off. So that's a nice 9,000 damage for Atma to just enjoy.
Yeah, yep, that hurt a little bit. Atma, holy creature. It's not gonna work very well in that.
Yeah, Drew now going for the Valley Garmanda check. And it's just a number 128. I see that Coin has invested in Moj Coin. Got the t-shirt. Wearing it.
So the Drew's gonna go through a lot of good checks though. I mean, he's got the Tritalk, he's got the Yamaru, he's gonna go into Gal right after that, so.
Yep, I'm not sure if Drew found the dried meat in Figaro Castle. I think they were.
Well, I saw them buy like 11 or something earlier. I think I saw that.
Yeah, they've been available. It's just a matter of whether he actually picked them up. I know some people have them. It's hard to keep track of little details like that sometimes.
I'm very disappointed though on Brianna that she hasn't changed Edgar's name to Ego, so it'll be Ego, Pogo, Gogo, Strago.
That's a good point. We will have to berate her later. Meteor, Ice, Fire, still not a great Esper to be found. Aside from that magic power +2, there's not a whole lot going on. Viable going for his Daryl's Tomb check. Well, we will see if he goes for that Katana Soul.
And the expected and the unexpected goddess at the end of the tunnel too.
Not a nice boss to find at the end of a dead check. It's not the longest check in the world. It's not actually that. I consider it like a medium-low check with decent treasure, but people seem to leave it pretty much for the end every time, and I'm not sure why. It doesn't take that long to get through, and as Drew showed earlier, you can make it slightly faster with clever use of a warp stone.
Yep.
So, we're about to see what Umaro is today. Aside from being gay, which we know already.
Oh, I like heavy go.
It's an Ultros! Which is a bingo square.
Okay. It's Ultros 4.
It is Chupon Ultros, yes, I'm pretty sure. And Brianna's still picking away at this Atma. Again, not the easiest fight in the world. And now she has a frozen Strago.
I forgot Ultros is weak to poison. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Ultros has 3 weaknesses. He's weak to Bolt, Fire, and Poison, I think.
Oh, here comes the offering fight for Eyeball.
Yeah, we'll see if he has Stray equipped and knows that that can be a thing.
Whoa, Brianna just took a huge hit.
And a second hit. So, that's not ideal. Especially if she didn't save after gathering that delicious coral. Just leaving, so I'm guessing no. High-end play for there is once you've got your coral, if you're not 100% sure you can kill whatever boss you come up against, and you can't find the save point, you're usually going to find the exit like 6 times before you find the stupid chest. Just walk out and save.
Yeah, the original developers of the game were crude on that.
Yeah. Naku saying Gao is decent. I didn't actually see what abilities he had.
Oh.
Good. Bible taking a blowfish to the face.
Gao is interesting because you actually get 2 possible randomized skills on Gao where everybody only gets really 1. Go-Go's the outlier, of course, because of his mimicking ability, but if you get 2 good skills on Gao, like a throw and I don't know, like lore for lack of a better, you get 2 decent ones. He can be pretty good. His magic's not really a slouch either. So.
No, he's got pretty solid stats all around. The obvious deficiency is that sometimes he has no way to do any damage at all. The only uncompletable feat of this I've ever played, I had a Gao start. Every progression, like all the other characters were locked behind fights, and he had no offense.
Palador.
And that's a 1500 jump. Revival, not having the nicest time with this fight either.
Ugh. Palador reflect only and MP plus 50%.
And Brianna back to looking for coral. I don't think anybody's gotten the Esper from Zen Naku.
There's the offering for Bible.
Yay! He gets through another fight with Mog alive and nobody else.
Mog is definitely carrying the team. Definitely buy more of his coin.
Yeah, yes. Invest in Moj coin.
Yes.
Today. All purchases can go through me, and I promise not to move to Morocco.
You definitely give the whole new meaning to broker.
You shouldn't job shame people, guy.
I'm sorry, new guy. I'm sorry.
Sometimes I just peter out because I have jokes I can't make on this stream.
It's all good. It's all good.
Drew going for the Serpent Trench.
Bible's gonna get the crude news. That's the dead check goddess now.
Yep. Ooh, Brain Pans. Not a fight I generally want to see in this rando, since they can just straight up stop you. And anything that can do that is a problem.
There's the pause buffering again there.
Yep. Drew, well known for his slots usage, as mentioned. Brianna has exited. I believe she's saved, and then immediately found the save room. And way back in.
Jeez.
So that's fun. But she did find the chest reasonably quickly.
Yes.
And Viable using Cat Rain. I don't know off the top of my head if Goddess is actually weak to any status effects.
Oh, and there's a reset.
Maybe slow, but that is a reset. There isn't really any point in fighting that boss. It's just a force armor.
Looks like Edgar is equipped with the Valiant Knife there.
Valiant Knives is good knives. But yeah, we're still just waiting for that one last square for Brianna and Viable. They can pretty much do whatever they want. Whenever they want for that. Viable apparently taking a random reset for no reason. Oh, going back in, because it wants the offering back.
Oh, okay. So offering and then probably going to warp out because it's going to be worth a stay.
Yeah, unfortunately did not save after killing the Katana Soul the first time.
Yeah, that's not a good fight, so I guess he got his return on the Moj coin.
Moj coin. We now have to set up a business. So, Brianna fighting Atma in a building this time. Appears not to have picked the best possible dance.
No, Love Sonata's probably not going to do it here.
The other one had Wind Slash and Sunbath, and that will do a lot to keep you alive, and Wind Slash isn't that bad of a spell.
No,
Drew
Wind Slash.
apparently...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, he's poking around at walls and stuff like he's never been in this room before.
Well, I was going to say about Wind Slash. Wind Slash is probably one of the best early game, like, AoE damage skills you can get. You get it in Gao. It's a very tough get with the, I believe it's the general leader that has it. But it's really good if you can get it in Gao early game.
I do not know off the top of my head what does Wind Slash in terms of rage, but there is the standard high-level thinky play of Wind God Gao, where you give him an offering and a tempest.
Dull him with the Cure 2, so start healing yourself. But I know there was one check that never used multi-heal, but everybody's pretty much got their direction of what they're going on the bingo card, so...
Apparently Franklin is telling us that Atma absorbs wind, which is one of those things you wouldn't know unless you try it, because, you're barely aware wind is an element if you play this vanilla. Which is one reason the Storm Dragon is so confusing. So, Katana Soul goes down again for
Probably
Bible.
gonna warp out, though.
Likely not going to take another pass at that goddess now. I don't know why he would. Brianna just... Strago cannot snare that giant Atma.
Yeah, he does have Warpstone. There it is. Yep, so it warped out. Want to get the offering for the Bounty Knife.
Yep, so that's his offering and like 60k gold or something, bunch of experience. Roughly the equivalent of fighting a high-level boss.
Mm-hmm.
Drew looking for some gear here. If I was him, with the money and stuff I have, I'd probably be going to buy those Minervas we saw at the start of the game, and he never bought any of them.
Yeah, Minerva's isn't bad, but Minerva's definitely better.
Yeah, Brianna successfully has killed an Atma.
Yay!
And now she finds out she gets an Esper, and then has to do the Burning House or Fanatic's Tower. Because that all progress is locked behind everyone's most hated checks. Oh! And I guess Drew also has to do the... See, I didn't go all the way through everything. I just knew progress was locked behind Strago.
Ah.
So I am just now figuring out. Apparently you have to do the Burning House. I think you get Shadow from it, and then that opens up some stuff.
So it's Vanilla Shadow? Is that the end of this?
I believe so. I don't... I also read the spoiler logs for like 30 seats, so I can't guarantee my memory is correct on this one.
I could take a look if... Let's see.
So, we're going to be seeing a lot of Burning House action. I think Bible might not know
You're right, it is.
how to get Strago.
Yeah, it is a Vanilla Shadow.
Ah, then yeah, that'll open up, 5 checks.
Yep.
I won't spoil the things, but should be fairly easy from that point on to get stuff done.
Yeah, Viable is kind of sitting here. I don't know.
I think he's done pretty much everything that doesn't involve getting Strago. He might be just rethinking something.
I mean, where do you go from here? Like, if you've done all your checks, you did the Kefka check, you've
You
done
have to go get Strago.
so.
But it's
What?
possible he doesn't know that you can.
Maybe he realizes it, and he's like, I have to start all over again.
Yeah, that might be what he's thinking, but you know, as always, the runners are aware I made and vetted the seed, so it has to be doable with the squares I have chosen. But I don't think Viable's been around all that long. Might not be 100% aware that you can go to the World of Ruin and find whatever you didn't get in the World of Balance. I'm gonna ask our tracker or our restreamer to send him a message just to make sure he knows that that's a thing.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, go to Mogul Room to get Mog still in the World of Ruin.
He really seems confused at this point, which is unfortunate.
Yes, so he needs to go. So what he needs to do is go back to Narsh, go do the Mogul Cave. And
yeah, in the World of Ruin specifically.
Get to Strago, and then so there he goes.
Yeah, but he's in the wrong world.
Oh, is he in the world of?
You gotta go Worlds of Ruin.
No.
Is he going to? No, he already did Kefka Nurse. What was he doing? This is not something you want to see in a race. This is just. I've been around so long, I don't consider it that esoteric, but it's not something you usually see people do, and we do get questions about it. So maybe I should have.
Just it could be just the stress getting to them, and they're like, I've done everything I can. Where do I go? We're already like an hour and 20 minutes into this race. What do I do? And
Yeah.
It can get to you if you're racing side by side. And there's now at the daddy boss.
Well, there's dad, and then some other dad's gonna come down from the ceiling. Just the dad room. Minerva's! Hooray! And here comes Shadow. Apple still
Get him, Interceptor, get him!
wandering around.
Woohoo! It's actually not bad. It's Shadow's color, though.
He's blue. He's a blue ninja.
Everybody's blue. Except for Mog.
Yeah, Mog's a weird yellowy color. He hasn't bathed in a while. He's been
No!
smoking too much cigarettes and is all covered in nicotine stains.
Shadow with Runic.
Runic's a great skill.
It is. As long as you don't cast spells. Which
Hey,
right now they really don't. Which right now they really don't have spells to cast. So I mean,
yeah, and Aku, I also sent him a message, so at some point he'll have to check the Discord because we can't really do anything else. I guess someone could go over to his stream, but he might not have chat on, or he might not have it visible.
Our racers ignore that technically because they don't want to, cheat or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going the right direction, but in the
wrong world.
Yeah, so right idea, just.
So that is unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Meanwhile, Brianna is fighting Dadaluma in a forest.
And Drew's going up to the floating continent.
Yep. Which will yield for him a bunch of Espers. That's the last thing I remember about the spoiler log.
Yeah, the Espers have been far and few between. Definitely Drew's got all the characters he needs. I mean, but Espers really far and few between.
Yep, not a lot of magic on the few we've found either, so see, we are at 4.
Thank you. For
Currently,
following,
enemies
Brianna.
sitting around level 33, assuming nobody ever reset, which they definitely all did multiple times. So it is really hard to place the actual difficulty our runners are looking at right now. But, yeah. Oh! Burb. Drew's taking a break.
Yep.
Straight up taking a break.
Kirby. Okay, so I guess we'll focus on Brianna because Viable is lost in the moguls. So we'll follow Brianna for a bit.
Oh. I sent a message to Vibble's stream. Apparently Ravlin did as well. So we've done as much as we can.
Yes. We're trying to be as helpful as possible, so.
Yeah.
So Brianna's doing the
Brianna,
Under Shadow
Belt
check
Cave.
with the Senior Behemoth.
Yeah, good old Strontium Behemoth. And I believe it will wind up being a character. Mostly because I'm pretty sure the
Gonna have
floating.
to be.
Yeah. I mean, there aren't that many checks left. And it does look like Vibble is going for the proper route, so we got through.
Yay! All right.
Clap, 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 clap.
That's looked like Realm.
That is a realm. It's the blue realm, who looks a bit like Go-Go with that color palette on her face.
Yeah. But you know what? And it actually, I would actually make more sense with Realm being there with his scepter. So fits. It fits.
It is technically vanilla.
Vargas
Except
and the
that-
Blue Bears.
Yeah. Vargas and the Ipoos. Everyone's favorite opening act for Hiding in the Hiding Knights. Unfortunately, no blitz to get rid of Vargas in immediate style. Drew, meanwhile, fighting not the greatest enemies in the game to get in a fight with, Retainers and Hemophytes.
Do not mess with flying ninjas. Just no.
Don't even mess with ninjas in general, probably. Unless you're on fire, because ninjas can't catch you if you're on fire.
Exactly. And Doom Gaze. Oh no! Oh.
Oh, and that's some level 5 Doom.
Yep.
If
that
only
was.
he had taken that fight. And some more Doom. Yay! Everyone's having a fun time with the best seed ever.
Yeah. level 5 dirt nap for the whole team there.
And then some more Windy Wind.
Yeah.
Brianna has successfully killed her dad and is about to acquire a stepdad.
Woo.
Yay!
Lore on Realm. That's actually pretty darn good.
Can be. Can be.
Well, you got Stray plus 2 magic. Try to get an experience snag on her. Get her those levels that to bridge that gap and. I see chat's egging you on the.
No, it's the perfect seed. It didn't take me 2 hours to get one that worked at all.
Sure.
Everything's fine.
This is
Everyone's having fun. I take no responsibility except for all the responsibility I take.
Exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meteors become crashing into you. Doom gaze.
90 minutes in.
90 minutes in, clearly not the fastest seed in the world.
Nope.
Although we have seen pretty much every one of our runners do something that maybe wasn't the greatest strategy and cost themselves some time.
But you know what? Of any character that you would pick to, and it was a perfect combination between the bingo board and the character that was offered. It was just the perfect marriage there. That just to skip that one. So
Yeah, when I made the original bingo board and messed up the flags, I actually had a much kinder seat. It was Terra in that spot, and there was so much more openness. But
yeah, you kind of leaked it early the other day, and I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And then you got this, and I'm like, oh god, this is so much harder than the other one was. You kind of leaked before.
yeah, yeah. Oh well, we get to see people suffer.
The whippet, not very helpful if you're not sleeping or anything.
Answer a chat question. I put that middle square there first and just ensured Mog was in the seed relatively early.
Ah.
Like, unmissable. And in this case, it turns out you started with him and you didn't have a lot of options.
So viable, now on track, getting the Strago that everybody passed on early is now at the Atma.
Well, Atma weapon seems to have fallen off the floating continent.
Oh, double Atmas.
He must have been a bit drunk. Dumble around. I mean, I wouldn't want to live up there. Seems like it's gonna be pretty easy to fall down.
Well, I mean, if Atma's gonna hang out in the toilet, I mean, he's probably, drinking too much.
Yeah, I mean, in the whole second half of the game, he's just sitting on the toilet, so there's been something going wrong in the innards. That is a dead Atma weapon.
And we're gonna make a crash landing to the. Would it be an Esper or is this a character here?
That is an Esper. Okay. And a little bit of Poisson.
Oh. Fill my eyes with a blurry vision.
Brianna going for Bowser's house with her realm get. So we're starting to see some variants.
Yes,
again.
Spreading into the world now. And that is an ice.
Oh, and it's a Golem. Golem Esper. Very useful for the final part of the game. Getting you through tier 3 of Final Kafka, avoiding those instant death moves. And Brianna has found some Slurm, which is highly addictive.
And Drew not carrying a Mobile Charm right now.
Evidently not. May have taken a different character. No, this seems to be the party he's had the whole time.
That was the original 4.
Maybe just want some levels since we're getting pretty far into time. But
but the levels do cap, right? They do cap at a certain point.
I believe the cap for enemy levels today is set at 42, 44, something like that. It's slightly above normal, but not much.
Okay, and he's around 41, so...
So he's pretty much beyond scaling.
Strago's the only one with 41. Everybody else is 33, so...
Oh. Well, he has been sitting on an experience egg for most of the game. He must have just set it to Strago.
Yeah, as soon as Strago... Well, if he had an experience egg with the Stray for that long, Strago really needs those damage spells, and he's good to go.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the game's not being particularly kind in that regard.
Toe Cutter is always a weird name.
Oh, and it looks like we've been asked by the man... Actually, I don't know if it's a man. By Captain Uhu. After this, we will be hosting Jets of Time. They have a new Twitchy, and we're gonna host them. And that's a good randomizer. You should go play that, but only after you play this one. Play this one first.
Yes, play this one first.
And Drew, moving on to part 2. And it's an Air Force, so
Okay.
I guess they're just, swapping jobs for the day.
French
Brianna
vanilla
finds a
is
try
right.
talk.
It's summertime. French vanilla is always a good thing.
It's one of the only things I like to get from Tim Hortons, because Tim Hortons sucks.
I'm more of a Carvel person, because that's the only thing we have around here. So
I don't even know what that is.
okay.
Hey, so what does Brianna have that can punch through the many, many defenses of Tri-Talk?
Yeah, that Ice 2 ain't gonna do it. That's for sure.
Maduin. I think it's like Tri-Elemental, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Tri-Elemental.
No, I'm thinking of something else. What's the Tri-Elemental one? Maduin just does some damage.
Tri-Elemental is Tri-Talk. So, Manduin's the,
Why do I always think Tri-Talk should be ice?
Tri.
Damn it, game. Make more sense.
No, Tri-Talk's the Tri-Elemental. It's just frozen. That's all it is. It's just its current state.
Well, he should have concentrated more on his firebending. It's bad Avatar. Just like that original Avatar, the guy also got frozen. So, new headcanon, Final Fantasy VI is the sequel to Avatar The Last Airbender.
With Windslash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Variable's still fighting this Atma fight. He's been fighting that since before Drew got onto the floating continent.
Yeah, I mean, it has a... Yeah,
Brianna has pulled out the Valiant knife.
There we go.
That'll do something.
She already gave up on that track anyway, so...
Yep. And Mog, I guess, doesn't have anything better. I would have given probably Mog the Valiant knife. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it gets multiplied by jump.
A bit, but that's the problem.
That's another thing, yeah.
We know Edgar can, but we don't know if Mog can.
Drew getting some zombies. He better dance like Michael Jackson.
I think that Flare Star might end it for Mr. Memes over there. Nope.
He has successfully bombed with smoke at the last minute. Does he have revival? Another rename. I think he hates the sea.
Yeah.
He is investing in Mogecoin? In Cherbil. Cherbil?
I am in Gerbil.
I am in shock. He's in shock.
He's
making so much use of those rename cards.
But shock is disabled in this seed, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly not in shock. That's he's wrong. He's not doing it right.
Yeah, I agree with Grim. I'm in pain is probably a better one for that.
Yep. Viable. Used a tent. I guess he must have gotten through that fight. I was honestly too busy looking at what Drew was writing.
Yeah, the memes are more important.
And Drew has found a train to nowhere. I'm guessing up there.
Yeah, but there's no suplex, so...
Yeah, unfortunate. He could rename a character Suplex.
I am Suplex.
I am Suplex. I am Suplex Train. And Train gone.
Double snipers making quick work of that.
Yeah, Brianna
Yeah.
Slowly picking away. I mean, not having a lot of luck, but can get through it.
Doesn't have lore, fire, like a fire elemental lore? I mean,
I haven't seen the lore menu actually opened.
yeah, so. I mean, she's doing damage with the, I'm guessing with the Violent Knife, so.
That's a Krakow. That is a Krakow.
Hey!
Amanda goes down.
So this was actually a new check that we haven't seen yet, so.
Yeah, we will have to see what is gained here. It is a soldier, because of course it's a soldier.
Okay.
And she receives for her trouble a snow muffler. Yay! Another dead chest.
No!
I really should have read more of the spoiler.
Oh.
This is one of the trolliest scenes ever.
Okay, change the meme to "I am in pain" after that. That's rough.
I am amused, and I imagine going to
Obvious.
get some hate mail. I would just like to thank my spiritual advisor, Ravlin, for getting me to the point where I could make a seed like this. I mean, all the praise should go to him. Drew has found a realm.
And Brianna's actually checking the.
Finds a Tritalk.
Well, okay, so that
And experience eggs for sale.
Oh, okay. But that kind of rubs it in a little bit, fighting Tritalk all that time, and then you get his Esper afterwards.
Yeah, he could have just bought him in the first place.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, work on your capitalism, Brianna. Ragnarok's for sale in whatever town Vibal's in.
Yep, but no, actually, Bible didn't go that path. Actually, it was only Drew that went that path, so. But with the snipers, that kind of makes up for it a little bit.
And Brianna is going for the first cutscene. Yay! Cutscene. It's one of the shortest possible ones. There's Doma.
Castle is.
Drulith has successfully killed a thing.
So, in the World of Ruin, that particular check there just shows you, when you first time play through the game, where some of these key spots are for when the world changed itself. Even though Narsh didn't really move. So.
Yeah, Brianna seems to be sitting in place there.
She's probably taking a break.
Possibly looking up where other cutscenes are. I did give them a partial list. As I mentioned before, it's kind of impossible for me to check all of them without taking a million years.
Bible's on fire! Literally.
Oh no! Drew going for Hauser's Mansion now. Have we seen anyone go to Gao Manor? Because it seems like someone should go there. Considering it's a 5-second check.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody has for the. Oh, Drew went there apparently, according to Jack.
Well, okay.
So
Drew also has 9 characters, and still needs 5 Espers.
There is the $50,000 auction item, and it is a gem box. And with the economizer, that might be a twofer there. But with Drew already doing the bingo boxes, I guess it doesn't matter. He's gonna buy it anyways.
Why not? People have different views on how best to approach the auction. I personally take the view that it's generally faster to reset and not buy everything, because you can still get screwed. But some people think the opposite is true, and it's faster to go the buy everything route. So
Carbuncle is another good one for the end game.
And Brianna has found a numero that we'll see if she wants him.
Nope.
No. Running away immediately.
So that's a double pass, because that's Yomaru and Gao being passed on.
Yeah, but there is a Sabin at this Gal Manor house where she's going badly, or just not at all. Esper Mountain, haven't seen that yet either.
Nope. Said as the one of the first of 2 realm checks that you can do.
Yeah, and it yields a Celeste.
Okay. That's my girl.
Yeah, one of the best characters in the game. Certainly in vanilla, arguments can be made in the randomizer, depending on how random you make it.
I mean, she's a double threat. I mean, she has decent melee damage, decent magic damage. So, but Umbaba is gonna be interesting. I don't think he is actually weak to, so this might not be that bad.
Yeah, that is one of the few bosses actually weak to poison. The other notable one being, of course, Poltergeist, a boss that you would think is weak to ice, but is not. Mog just butt stomping. May have forgotten to put the Pearl Lance back on after that talk fight.
Booty drop. I had to say it.
Okay. You can say it again if you want.
Okay.
Imp! Imp! Imp!
If you had a million
This is why
gold,
I do the reset version.
If you had a million gold, would you buy the mechanical imp?
I mean, obviously.
1 million.
That's the goal of capitalism. To gain enough money to buy an imp robot. Right? What do you,
Yeah.
this is the goal of my life.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, see, Nako agrees with me. It's the American dream.
Dream. Double Ragnarok on Bible.
Oh, there's the Phantom Esper for Drew. So getting through that auction house reasonably quickly. Obviously, nowhere.
Sorry, I did see an ice shield actually. That's an equipable item there.
Ice shields were found by at least Brianna, and I guess Bible also earlier at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know that Drew found one.
So Bible also going for the solo, I guess, fight technically, since everybody else is already dead.
Maybe. But Drew now going through Azur's Mansion. Took a brief stop for the auction. Still needs 3 Espers. This will not, unfortunately, get him one.
Well, if you're going for the capitalist thing, Jidor is definitely the place you want to spend your money.
Yeah, I guess. You could probably buy Miranda. Doesn't seem like they have a lot going on.
No.
I would have loved to have seen someone land a killing blow on their own character barehanded. That would have amused me.
Would that count?
It just says land a killing blow.
Okay, alright.
That's what I would have done if I was playing this. I don't get to play bingo. I'm usually the one making it. For which I'm sure everyone is grateful tonight.
At least the audience is, and there goes Boom Bubba there.
Baba gone. Thereby getting a Celeste with tools and remarkably high speed.
Tools on Celeste is actually pretty good. Again, like I said, she has pretty decent melee, pretty decent magic, tool skills with both. So yeah, not a bad.
We have seen chainsaws, we've seen drills, we've seen a chunk of some stuff.
Yep.
So there's ways to go with it.
Still no major big spells. I mean, there's still Meteor, Ice 2, but I haven't really seen.
Yeah, light on spells. Bio is kind of the highest damage one available. Unfortunately, it's bio, and not a lot of things are weak to it.
No, no
Drew
fire.
now running up against Tritok. He does have Fire 1 that will do damage.
Some. Better than nothing.
I've killed Tritok with Fire 1 before. It'll still do like 1,000 or more at this level. He's also got slots, which are non-elemental. The easy ones, anyway. 7 Flush and Chocobo. Going for...
Going incognito is what he's doing.
Was he doing a reverse Joker Doom? I think he's trying to reverse Joker Doom.
Yeah.
No, boo. Boo. But that's how you do it.
Well, okay.
I mean, it's only technically, officially not allowed in most official things, so... Hooray for Drew?
Yay.
Well, there was much rejoicing. And he had the tools to get through it, too. That was just unnecessary.
Yeah, that was a Monty Python reference for the night.
Right.
Ragnarok and
I am displeased.
Yeah, a lot of people not happy about that.
Well, let's see what happens with the rest of the race. He's done it once, and we'll do it some more times.
Well, I mean, he has a... I hate to say this, but Drew has a commanding lead. 2 more characters over Brianna.
6 Espers over her as well.
I mean, it's a huge lead, but Brianna is going to where Drew has not gone yet, and that is the Magitech facility, which has multiple checks in it. So she can
the first 2 are usually pretty quick and gonna be 50-50 Espers or items, and the third one is usually one people skip out on.
And she's just rushing through, not even going for the chest. She's just through it.
Not even the close ones.
No, it's almost 2 hours in. It's just go. She's got to go at this point.
Pretty much. So we will be basically, assuming the timer is accurate on screen for the people in game, which it definitely isn't. They're gonna be at max scaling at this point, so anything they do now is going to be them getting beyond it.
Safety save. She's only... Wow. Okay, so Brianna is only level 17.
There was a 29 character in there.
Went in there. I saw... Yeah, okay, because I did see... Well, Celeste just got added, so that she's going to be lower level.
Yep. Characters are joining at average level, but if you leave a bunch of characters behind... which you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Grimwolf, that was not meant as a slight on your ability to start the timer on time, which every restreamer does perfectly every restream without being told to do it. I just meant people have died and reset a lot, so I don't know what their actual in-game timers are.
Infernal not liking Celeste's multiple procs with the flare took her out pretty quick.
Unfortunate, since flare good damage. Flare good damage.
And she's going to ensure she stays up with the Life 3 after the Phoenix downs.
Oh, Drew found some Dragoon boots.
Yep.
Well, I think he's just going to sell everything he has and buy a lot of Super Balls.
Yeah. Because, again, Drew is the one who's not using the Ragnaroks, not using the Pearl Lances, the Aura Lances with the start of having a Dragoon. Oh. I love randomizer and all, but every time I see a ribbon, something like that gets sold, a little piece of me just dies every time.
Oh, if I don't have a cursed shield, those are immediately in the shop. I have no time for ribbons. I do have time for $20,000.
Brianna dancing after that fight.
Of course. I like how the bingo card has been done for so long. And no one's even in Kefka's Tower.
Actually, Brianna hasn't. Actually, has anybody? Sorry, Bible hasn't finished.
Oh, Bible hasn't finished the top
No.
left and bottom right. Pretty sure Bible doesn't know how the top left one works, as we figured out earlier.
Yeah, really.
Oh, I did see Pearl on an Esper. That's a spell. It's very slow, but it's a spell.
It's something. Definitely don't want to use it on Atma though.
No, but luckily Atma's out of the running at this point, as is Goddess. As is
Buy
Ifrit,
that.
as is Tritok. I think there's one other thing that absorbs Holy, but that should be everything that ignores it. Rexel, thank you, Grimwolf.
Yeah.
Drew has now found and is not able to use those Ragnaroks. Since he... Well, I guess if he really wanted to, he could just go watch 2 cutscenes. It takes almost no time.
Yeah, but he's still going after chest though, which is
Yeah, which means if you see a runner doing that this late in the race, it just means they're not confident with what they have.
Answer will help though. Oh, 3 Stoogers.
Brianna taking no damage from that fire on any of her 3 characters on the ground. I think she's got a snow muffler. I know she's got elemental shield. Yeah, I don't know what the other one is coming from. Oh, she found a Minerva at one point. That'll probably be on Celeste.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Drew healing with his bag of many potions. And Brianna
D&D there.
showing why Ragnaroks is good. 6k without procs is good. Is good damage. Dead Luma dead again. And Drew about to fight some Stooges as well. Or sorry, Inferno first, and then Stooges later.
Then Stooges, yeah. But he'll get his 12th Esper after this, so he'll be on the hill.
Yeah. Ifrit for Brianna. And she's warping out, not doing M-Tech 3.
Nope. So that means that as soon as Drew gets through both of these bosses, he does have Warp Stones, so he will be bailing out of this and going straight to Kefka's Tower, probably.
Yep. So Drew will almost definitely be our first in KT, unless something goes very, very, very wrong, like his SNES explodes.
Oh, there's the Sabin for Brianna.
Yep. So she is up to 9 characters. I like how I deliberately set the character requirements kind of low, and then it turns out you need all.
Yeah, you need all of them. Just pretty about Cyan, Terra, and Locke, pretty much.
Yep. So, time to see what's in the South Figaro basement in Celeste's cell as Drew gets through that Inferno.
I don't think we looked down there yet. We went. No,
Brianna's the only one that has gained Celeste, so... Well, Drew has her as well, but has not.
Yeah, Drew has her, but he didn't do the basic.
It's a Cyan! Yay! Another character!
Double. I'm sure she's not happy about that.
No, everyone's always happy about extra characters. Cyan at least has a really fast check, and a free check with the Durgan in it. And a million chests.
True, that is true.
I mean, I don't know that I'd want to be doing the dream at this point, but...
Bible's about to get Sabin as well here.
Ooh! Opera time! So, that puts Drew at 12 Espers. He will shortly be at 13 Aspers. And then he's gonna go fight Kafka in the face. In the face.
Actually, she's not doing opera.
Oh,
She's
decided
fine.
against it. Is she going for the dream? Where's she going?
I'm not sure. But Drew's about to get his last Esper there. Yeah.
Oh, Tizan. Free quick check.
Oh, she's going for the collapsing house. Okay.
Yeah. As Drew fights some stooges and Bible is apparently going for the floating continent, which will gain him 3 Espers, as we saw earlier, which will be nice. Although none of the Espers themselves are particularly nice, but having them is good.
And Ghost holding up the house there is a good chance of getting an Esper there. So.
Ooh, Pearlwind. That'll be a
Okay. Yeah,
quite possibly useful spell to have.
Well, healing. All the Stooges has healed themselves with quad 9, so.
Drew!
He did it again.
Boo! Boo! I know I'm supposed to not,
You're supposed to be impartial.
I'm supposed to be impartial, but nuts to that.
Do we have a referee here?
There is technically no official ruling on when and where Reverse Joker Doom is allowed, but it is, in general, very frowned upon and has never been allowed in any official thing.
But this is for funsies, so.
Yeah. But
he's-
boo.
But he's
I mean,
doing
Jack's
the,
here and I'm booing someone else. That should show you how I feel about it. But also
he's
boo
doing
Jack.
part of the facility, though, so just extra time levels, I guess.
Yeah, gonna see something else. Slatter. Or maybe he miscounted his Espers or something. Or maybe he's out of warp stones.
Could be.
And Viable is fighting a Doom Gaze and has 2 people of level 5 or multiples thereof.
And Brianna's going to Dream. I never miscount Espers.
Oh, it might even just be Drew miscounting, because Drew does not use auto tracking. He has his own Illumina tracker that a lot of our runners do use, but it can be easy to miscount on that, especially if you're relying on manual tracking instead of. I mean, you can even look in the menu at this point. There is a tracking page there, but people very rarely actually open it.
Yeah, I have a tracker that can auto, I just don't know how to use it. So.
That reminds me I was supposed to record a tutorial video for how to do that. Oh, well, write that down.
Okay, I'm happy to help there.
So, Brianna up against Hyden and the Hyden Knights. I agree with Jack.
And Coyote, who actually followed Brianna earlier in the stream, thinks that Drew's worried about KT without weapons.
Yeah, well, maybe he should have gone for a different line.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
but Drew's packing
Doom!
snipers and he's cheating, says Jack.
Yeah, that's what I laughed at him earlier.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll be the only one getting hate mail today.
Well, Doom says no to the invisibility there after he just hit everybody.
Brianna's is on a train in epilepsy mode.
Choo choo.
Exactly.
Just sleep it off. If she can sleep it off.
Why is she only sleeping half of it off? Why would you do you not have any tents? Why wouldn't you?
didn't bring a tent when she went camping here.
I wouldn't be using remedies to cure just poison. You need those for later when multiple things happen at once. But, if it's all you got, I guess you gotta manage your inventory.
Well, Drew's doing a good job of healing Doom. We just healed him for almost 4,000 there.
Yeah, that's nice of him. Probably trying to make up for that reverse Joker Doom earlier.
Okay.
Now he's just reverse fighting Doom. Windy Wind for Viable. Things are going very... How did Windy Wind do 600 damage to someone with 30 health?
It's Go-Go. Maybe they don't have any weapon items on them, but...
Yeah, but Windy Wind's a percent attack, or rather a take you to very low health attack. That was weird. Looks like 205.
Doom into the Aura Shield now. Oh, here's the wind attack again for you.
Yeah, that time it didn't kill Go-Go for no reason.
Oh, there's your favorite fixed dice on Go-Go. Snake Eyes. Oh no.
Yeah, that should pretty much show you in one move why I'm not a big fan of fixed dice.
Fixed dice actually lows roll when you first equip them, and then progressively through the game they just seem to do more and more and more higher rolls.
Well, it is based on your level.
Okay, so yeah, so there you go.
But yeah, by about halfway through the game, I think they've seen most of their use go away. Drulith has successfully killed the Doom.
And Brianna is on Ultros 3.
And here's the next meet-up. Which is probably not what Viable actually wanted to happen.
No.
And, ooh, Go-Go dodges Doom. And Drew looks at his tracker and goes, oh wait, I didn't need to do that at all. What am I doing? So Naku was correct on the counting and Drew was not.
And he still has one more fight to do because now he's got to do the Cranes portion.
Yeah, I don't think you can warp out of there.
Nope.
It's a Narappa. One of the...
Pretty high health, but I mean, it's a somewhat easy fight.
Narappa's almost never an issue. Pretty much not a problem. Brianna's just running in circles. Oh, and a lovely Genji shield. Isn't that nice?
I mean, Brianna's been doing the right thing, going through the checks and all. She just keeps coming up empty sometimes.
Yep. I mean, people need to go give our runners a follow simply for sticking this out. Oh, Fire 3 on an Esper. That's actually a spell. And Merton. That's another spell, and most of Brianna's party's already immune to fire. That is a legit game strategy.
That is huge, and she's the closest. She's in second right now, as going by tracker stats. So,
yeah,
but
Drew
looks like he's
about to go into the tower. Viable took a reset there for reasons.
Maybe
again.
I don't know.
Yeah, you look away for like 2 seconds and people do something and then you have no idea what's going on.
As Naku said, it's our favorite Stratus Merton. Yes, I've seen her use it multiple times on the streams here.
Honestly, anytime anybody can get Merton going, you probably should. It's gonna be better than most other things most of the time, unless you can get your hands on like Ragnaroks and Genji gloves and Illuminas.
And it's a Terra. Nope, says Brianna. Doesn't.
Oh, that's nice.
Doesn't want your girl.
I guess Brianna hasn't found the shop that sells Ragnaroks, or has she?
She has.
Probably doesn't have a second Genji glove, but I would be considering Terra. Considering still no one has any really good spells, there's nothing in particular keeping you from sticking a new character in your party aside from, I guess she's not going to have the highest level.
Yamaru Yeti gets left behind.
Someone's got to drive the airship, and he's got the most training and experience.
Right. The getaway driver.
And Brianna running away from some dogs and finds an Aegis shield. There's so many dead checks to see.
Oh, man. I mean, it just hurts at this point.
I legitimately saw that you got Shadow and Sabin pretty close together and went, oh, that'll solve the rest of the game, and then didn't read any more of the spoiler bar. Turns out, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, when you get Shadow and Sabin, you can just go bang, 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 bang right through those checks because in the world of balance, because they're just right back to back with each other. And it's a great strategy. It's just the roll of the dice. I mean, it's not giving her what she needs, and there you go. So she finally got one.
We have had a forfeit from one of our racers, unfortunately. But I think he just knows that he's kind of far behind and maybe he's out of time. I seem to recall Vibel being from Sweden or something. So it's going to be pretty late for him.
Oh, yeah, it's about 4 hours, so it's definitely
It's going to be like 5 hours, yeah.
Yeah. But Drew is making his way through the KT.
We'll see if he's interested in an interview. I would not be surprised if he's a bit too annoyed and tired to do one.
Yeah, just piecing.
But, he stuck it out for 2 hours and 11 minutes, making not a lot of progress, and not usually because of how he was playing. So, good on him for trying, as long as he did. He is one of our newer racers, as you could tell when he, that little piece of knowledge that most people in the community have, but a lot of newer people seem to not know. Oh, another Minerva for Brianna. That's going to do some more Merton stuff for her.
Very nice. Just to remind everybody who's watching.
Is she going to fight Siegfried?
Oh,
I think Brianna's brain might have turned off.
Yeah, I think she forgot what that room reveals. It's a time waster, though, unfortunately. I mean, he dies in one hit. It's just a time waster. You know what? I would qualify this as a cutscene. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'd add it to the list.
He basically has offering Genji glove, but he only has like a little dirk that he basically fights you with, and you just tap him on the shoulder, he dies.
He's got an Excalibur.
Yep, return damage of about 11,000. Yeah, that'll do it. But what I was going to say is, if you like what you're seeing here, everybody, and you want to try out the randomization of Final Fantasy VI, just head on over to ff6wc.com and try it out.
And join the Discord. Just lots of good people there like me who will make you suffer for hours. That's a good thing, right?
I mean, if you're into that.
So, Drew, on the ascent of KT, Brianna 3 Espers behind. And because of how Drew's been playing, I mean, he's got 1 million Super Balls probably, so he'd probably get through most of this pretty okay. But there is always room for someone to catch up, even if they're, this far behind. I mean, Brianna is one Esper and a trip to the auction house out of go mode, pretty much.
Yep, and leader's now surfing on the railway here. Very, very easy boss to kill there.
Yeah, unless you're playing with a specific flag on that alters the stats of enemies, and you let him get to a pretty high level, these usually
Yeah,
issue.
like in the weekly there. Again, I don't remember what the attack was he used on me, but he smashed one of my people in the face for like 2,000 damage. So I was like, what was that?
Probably Axe and Normalize and Distort was on. That can do, 3-4k if he gets to a decent level.
Brianna free fallen.
And finds Raxol, the other thing that absorbs Holy.
Yeah, that's
Let's hope she takes her thing off. Ah! She remembered.
Yay!
The first person to remember to take off.
So is it going to be booty drop or brushing? Now we're going to be brushing.
And Drew has found Poltergeist, so we have seen all 3 of the statue bosses. Apparently, Drew's also sitting on quick.
Spicy.
When you got that.
Chad, if you got it.
And throwing some ice too is for 4,700 damage. I guess that's his Strago character in a Moogle suit? Or is that actually Mog? He's got jumps, so that is Mog. Mog must have also been sitting on some magic up, because Ice 2 should not be doing 5,000 damage to Poltergeist. It is not a weakness. And Brianna floating down the river, being all lazy and stuff. And gets for her efforts an economizer. Hooray!
Well, another check for Brianna. Oh.
This is going swimmingly.
Ha 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 ha. I see what you did there.
Oh, I didn't until you pointed it out. I retract my previous statement. This is going well.
Okay, it's well, alright.
Oh, Drew down to Am. Only got Am left. But he's got life too, so he'll be fine. So, Brianna onto the floating continent, which will get her 2 Espers. 3 Espers.
Yep, so she'll be in go mode after this, but I mean, Drew is a little stuck at the moment, so you're saying there's a chance.
He's not having that much trouble. That's a dead Poltergeist. It's really whether Final Kafka decides to be mean to him or not, and he decides to cheat more or not.
Uh-huh.
But that is the Guardian portion done. Because got 3 more. I don't know why I said "cuz" at the start of that sentence, because that didn't make any sense.
That's okay.
Well, as long as you're fine.
I mean, 2 hours straight commentating, you things just are blurred together.
Yeah, I can't even play my own seed on my own past like an hour and still have any memory of what's going on.
Oh goodness, we have a Chartanook.
Yay! Okay, I don't usually talk about what's happening off stream, but one of the top runners in the entire community just finished. The official first finish itself, or just finished the seed at 2 hours 18 minutes.
Okay.
So
Congrats
that
on
should show you how difficult this seed has been.
Yeah, 2 hour plus seed is rough. It is a tough seed to get through.
Yeah, Drew is another one of the top racers in the community, and he's still not quite the final Kefka, so
He's in the house, but
yeah. But he's still just hanging up his hat, commenting on the decor. He hasn't gotten to the... He's not really in, he's just in the entryway.
so he's doing a kind of a double cast where he's casting Ice 2 into Quick.
Yep, that's how he got through Poltergeist. Brianna finding the Doom Gaze. That Pearl Lance finally useful.
Climbing the holy ladder is never easy, so it's finally paying off.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Ooh.
Drew using a chainsaw for some reason. I guess Go-Go didn't have much else to do that turn. And that is a dead Chatternook. So that is... is that his first statue? I only saw him kill...
No, but I think, I mean, looking
Okay.
ahead, there wasn't really much after this, so...
I do know that there is an Ultros remaining to be fought in Kefka's Tower.
Which, funnily enough, was one of the bingo squares.
Yeah. And as we saw, Drew's the only one that found an Ultros anywhere else, which is why I left it as one Ultros when it would usually be... The last time there was an Ultros square, it was 4 Ultroses.
And Brianna's getting the flying Atma.
Yay! Out on work experience. Trying to learn to be an Air Force. Oh, Brianna also
That's
found
right.
Ultros 3.
That's right, because the one after this is Air Force after this fight.
Drew, on to Final Switch number 1.
Glowing as Edgar.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's kind of freaking me out.
Maybe he's just got cool contacts in so he can be cool. And have
And
contacts.
it's the snail.
It's a Welk. Everybody's favorite thing in the game, especially Houdat. It's Houdat's favorite snail. Without question. I've heard him say it.
It is an easy boss unless you're stuck with characters that hit randomly. Then it's not so much. But if you got
But when
like
you've
that, it's
got
quickly.
when you've got double sniper, double whatever the hell he was hitting with.
Yeah. Well, definitely double sniper because he's not allowed. Because again, he's not allowed to use any other weapons. And there's no
Yeah,
one cuts
snipers
his block.
will get you through most things in this game, though, which is something that it takes a lot of people a while to realize. That A, they're good, B, they're back row, and C, so many things in this game float, even if it doesn't look like they do, that you get a lot of those throw procs. Or programmed random occurrences, as friends of the stream will remember.
And last but not least, Goddess is tentacles.
Some tentacles. Well, maybe there isn't an Ultros in the sky then. I don't know. As I said before, I had to read like 40 spoiler locks. I did not read them all thoroughly. And they may or may not have got confabulated.
Brianna is jumping ship.
Well,
Not
she's
getting the last one, so.
interesting. You're probably going to auction house.
Or
Auction house time.
Okay.
No.
find the last one. Okay. So I'm
Drill
thinking
with
I have to take the risk.
drilling some tentacles.
I mean, I don't blame her after dead check after dead check after dead check. I mean, you get 2 espers, your chances of getting 3, she's thinking probably pretty low, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's just walked manually into another dead check.
But much higher level than where Drew was when he tried kept doing this one. So
Yeah, Drew kept trying to do it at level 3.
Yeah.
Which is the absolute worst time to try to do that fight. As you can see, Brianna just took it out in essentially 2 attacks.
Well, path is open for Drew.
And she gets a Valiant Knife, I believe.
Yes.
And then probably goes to the auction house for the remainder of the auction time. Esper words. And Drew ascends the light to fight the Mad Harlequin himself, Kafka. Yeah, that's his last name.
Yeah. That's the translation.
I know it starts with a G, and then it goes, guys. If anyone argues with me, I will release a patch correcting the translation. So, Kafka in his weird pyramid. I am in shock.
Oh, wait, so he's not going to take the full crew. Only taking
Well,
the 4.
What happens, you may not be aware, you're fairly new to the rando. The people you pick go in that order, and then it just randomly assigns the rest, so you don't actually have to manually stick everyone. Brianna finds an Esper first try. I presume that's because Zelfer has finished his game and no longer needs his luck. Meanwhile, Drew on tier 1 taking some serious hits to the face of that old man.
Well, I mean, what Jack's saying is how long till Drew uses that trick again. Well, the next stage of Kafka would be 1 or 2 of them are weak to it, so... Which actually, no, at this stage it actually won't be. The first stage is pretty easy.
Yeah, that's a slip hit on Edgar. That seizure/sap will follow you through to the end, so I usually like to remedy that right away. Nip that in the bud.
Yep, here we go.
7 bar.
7 bar.
And Drew has elected to kill himself for some reason.
Okay.
So
well,
maybe oh, he's gonna do the other way. Yeah. Again, don't approve at all. And he only got 1 shockwave. I was hoping he'd die. I'm impartial.
So now for the rest of the time, does he just mimic the rest of the way, or what?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Interesting.
So, that's fun.
I mean,
Brianna, meanwhile, looking for Esper too.
Yeah, second Esper, much harder to get. Lower chance in the first ones, I believe. Oh, she gets to 50,000 auction
1,
item.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, bonus
6,
points for Brianna
7,
for getting the most squares.
8, 9, 10. Drew dead, but he has a level 3.
Wah, wah.
But here comes a fire 3, and now he's dead. And that's what you get for flouting ostensible rules that aren't technical. No one's really ever made like a global decision on that. It keeps getting bounced around for like the community to decide, and then nobody ever knows whether or not it's fine.
Are you saying there's still a chance? And Brianna takes a reset.
Yep, that's my preferred method of going through here, and she gets an Esper. Resetting out of this auction takes 13 seconds, I believe, to get back in. So it's a matter of whether you prefer your chances of buying everything and making it more likely to get the Esper, but still more likely to get the Imp also, or you just decide to go for the time and accept that it's going to be completely random. But she is now in going mode.
Yay!
I'll get her a horse.
And I am shocked. Trying again.
Yep. Let's see if he goes for the Joker Doom styles again. Well, he's going for actual Doom, which is a good start. That bottom left hand is insta-killable.
And then the second one you want to go for is the head.
Yep, the head and the left arm will counter with nasty things if they're the last thing to die, whereas the short hand just dies, and you're fine. So that is usually the last thing you want to hit.
Yep, just work your way left to
right. And then we get on to tier 2 pretty soon, probably. The Bio's doing a fair amount of damage. She's been sitting on magic +2 Espers for basically the whole seed, so even middling spells can be quite useful at the end if you've got the things to make them useful. Brianna now deciding on party.
But she doesn't leave anybody behind.
No, well, she doesn't have an Umaro.
Oh, that's right. She does have a pilot. I forgot.
Yeah, no. She just got Edgar to design an autopilot. And down she goes.
He's the one that yells out, "How do you fly this thing before they crash?" So that's not entirely true.
Well, he's used to relying on the autopilot.
Okay.
Or Umaro. Drew on to tier 2 with an actual party of 4 this time. Well, he had a party of 4 last time. That's because 3 people died.
Intentionally.
Yep.
Not quite as bad as the mogul getting flattened 3 times in the eggplant. Ooh,
yes, we did have some questions for Vibble, and that was one of them. But we have seen in the past that problems with Final Cafe can lead someone in reasonably distant second place to win. So we'll see what happens.
So I don't know if you saw that, but Edgar got turned to an imp, and Drew just equipped him with an imp helper.
Yes, it's a good play. I have been playing this randomizer almost since it was released, and I have still never managed to have a full Imp Dragoon setup.
That would be amazing.
I'm always missing at least one piece.
It's actually not a bad build. It really isn't.
No, if you can pull it off, you got solid defense, solid damage, and I believe you absorb water, as useful as that is.
Yep. Yep, you do. Well, I mean, Atma does a couple different water attacks, so it's helpful in that way.
Yeah, and Rizipis has a Aqua Rake or whatever. The other one.
And that's the Raiden to kill the, I believe it's the machine part is the one that it kills.
Yeah, Tools is insta-killable. The bottom right one, Tiger, is weak to ice. You can mute magic in the back, And if you got Phantom or something, then the front one's not a danger. But the main thing you want to do is get rid of that tiger, as far as I'm concerned, because he does do some nasty things like freezing your party and turning you into zombies. And it seems like Drew is a proponent of the opposite. Some people like going for hit first, and some people like going for magic first. I am a proponent of killing hit first, simply because 10 hits can sometimes just kill your party, or a bunch of your party, and then you have time to resurrect them.
Yeah,
Other people consider killing magic first to be more important.
especially if you get 10 hits back to back in the first stage and the second stage. So, I believe.
That's gonna be a very dead Ulthros.
Yep.
Double fire threes.
Oh, quad 9s. There it is.
So Brianna has killed the first boss of Kefka's Tower. We'll have to see how Tier 3 goes for Drew, because that is usually the last place where Kefka decides to ruin people.
There comes the 10 hits.
Yeah. Conveniently this time, not all of his party is almost dead. So that was a lot less dangerous.
Oh!
On to Tier 3.
Strago, the key of this entire scene, survives.
He's important. You gotta keep Strago alive.
He was definitely an important pony.
I mean, he did lock the entire seed and the middle square.
And, unfortunately, effectively knocking one of our racers out, too, so...
Yeah, Bible unfortunately did not realize you could go get Strago from the Moogle Cave, but, you know, there were other things that made this not a very nice seed. Brianna up to switch number 1. And we got some slots going on.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Some life 3s going on. I imagine we're gonna see some mimicking of Joker's Doom or something.
No, well...
Maybe not.
He's setting something up.
He's
setting something up.
He may be concerned that Go-Go only has 13 seconds. It's like 20 seconds, 26 seconds. It's about 2 seconds per second of countdown on that. Oh, maybe he's not confident that he could pull that off in the amount of time he has left. But we'll see what happens. Brianna finds the best food at Wendy's.
Huh?
Spicy chicken.
Ah.
They're good.
Hey, I pay the $2 at the beginning of the year and get free Frosties the rest of the year. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a thing?
Yep. Get this little. Donate $2 at the beginning of the year. Get this little keychain, little plastic thing, and you show it to them every single time you go there, and you get a free. It's a kid Frosty, but it's a free Frosty every single time you go for the rest of the year.
That's a solid deal.
As Worf.
So, Drew, on to Final Kefka. Generally the easiest part of this whole battle.
Nope, here we go.
No,
He missed it. Missed it again.
Yep. Not doing great on the Joker Doom front.
Nope.
That's a dead Strago. That's an alive Strago.
He doesn't have the. No, I was just making sure he didn't have the can't cure people thing.
No, nobody's gone for that either on stream or off stream. Zelfer finished by doing the bottom row.
Yeah, never using a multi-heal target thing. That would have been rough.
That's not usually that big of a deal. It depends on the seed.
Well, I mean, one of the characters has health. I mean, you pretty much told basically like you cannot ever use that if you were going for that.
Yeah. Oh, Havoc Wing, right in the face of Go-Go.
Yeah, Bao doesn't do anything on Kefka after he ascends, so.
And switching out a weapon, looks like. Or not.
Not.
He did look at his sniper for some reason. Don't know what the deal
I
was
think
with
he's
that.
looking for, no, he can't, he doesn't have any because he had to sell them the bounty knives.
Oh, that's a very dead Edgar.
Oh, poof. It's like, Edgar got what he deserved, though. I mean, just...
I was 9k.
Here comes Trine. Technically.
Yes, it is Trine, which is like an astrological thing. Or astronomical, rather. Where there's 3 planets in like a triangle formation. I'm not sure how that's useful to astronomers, but it is a thing.
Oh, try it again. Missed it again.
Oh no! I mean, he may have actually been going for move, since it unblinded him, but...
Oh, true. I forgot about that.
You did get the 7 first, which is an unlikely thing if you're deliberately trying to move. I've just been noticing that the timer in the middle's drunk way too many coffees.
Yeah, it's glitching a little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably tired. It's like ended already.
We can't count forever.
But Brianna is catching up slowly.
Yeah. Drew probably has this in the bag though, with Life 2 and Life 3. Final Kefka is mostly a counting game. You do 35k and he'll start countering with the Havoc Wings, I think, and then you get around 60k and he'll start countering with Ultimus, so you just don't hit him after you get 30-ish k in, unless he's in Beyond Chaos mode. He can still be an absolute douche, but it's not super common. Usually, if someone loses to Kefka, it's because they had a real rough time in tiers 2 and 3. If you can get to Final Kefka with a full party, you're probably fine.
Especially,
and there is why snipers are good.
Yeah. Quad 9s, double quad 9s off the sniper for...
Programmed random occurrence of throw. Is he... Still trying to do those Joker Dooms. I think he's just trying to show off at this point. And there's a Beyond Chaos and a dead Chatternook for Brianna. Edgar casting quick.
Here we go.
And if he gets lucky with the programmed random occurrences, probably gonna see some dead Kefka here. I haven't been super paying attention with the damage, but... Well, those were at least 2 crits, which is almost as good. So that is a win for Drew with an official time of 2 hours, 44 minutes, 22 seconds.
Clock was pretty close. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know what his game time would be. Probably at least 10 minutes lower than that. Or,
Yeah.
because of all the Ifrit stuff. But yeah, we'll see if we can get him in for an interviews. Meanwhile, Brianna moving on to another statue fight with a snail. Who dat's favorite snail? The Whelk.
Woof. That was a
That was a fast Whelk.
Holy smokes. Definitely turned into escargot in a matter of seconds.
Escargon.
Yeah.
So that's another statue down for Brianna. Time for whatever the third one was. Some tentacles? Was it tentacles? I think it was tentacles.
Yeah, third one's tentacles.
Well, as we see the Chancellor, the hero of the race of the whole game, helping Drew get out of the tower. Welcome, Drew. GG's on the win.
You sound tired after that run.
Well, I was in the car for 9 hours before I decided to join the community race to relax.
You also sound like a robot.
Like, because of my mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I think we all definitely want to invest in Mogecoin. How do we go about that?
Well, first you gotta be part of the underground ring.
Mm-hmm.
Do I sound any better?
Oh, so much better. Now I can understand the words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, I was probably using my webcam mic.
Ah.
That would do it.
Yeah, so I guess you settled on that one bingo line pretty early.
Well, yeah, I did. I was like, oh, I can get this done quick. And then just kind of do the seed quick. But actually, I kind of wish I didn't do that. Because using those powerful weapons would have saved time.
Oh, so much time. There were Ragnaroks straight up for sale. I think you found those at some point. There was other nice stuff as well.
Initially, I was like, yeah, just get the bingo out of the way, and then the seed. Then it's just a seed from there. But then the seed ended up being not just a seed. Oh no, this was a demon seed.
Yeah. Turns out that if you read as far into the spoiler log, then you get Shadow and then you get Sabin, and you go, this will be fine. You're not always going to be right.
Right. So, how long's my prison sentence?
Depends how many Moj coins you're willing to bribe me with.
Well, I can give you the whole lot. All the Moj coin I got.
Oh, well, I mean, I can't stay mad at you, but other people probably will be.
I could have went in harder with it. I just don't like those stooges, you know?
Yeah,
I just wasn't in the mood.
There was some disappointment, let us say, in the chat when that came up.
But let's be honest, if Gogo would have soloed all 4 of those stages, that would have been pretty hype. Like, let's be honest.
That's a good interview question, right? Just grumbling?
Yes.
Okay.
But what was the one thing about the seed that you think caught everybody up? I mean, you only looked at your stream for now, but what was the one thing you think caught up everybody?
So, can you repeat the question? Or Mike
Like,
was quiet.
what was the one thing about the seed that you think everybody got caught up on?
Probably just the fact that there were so many dead checks and hard bosses. That was pretty much what it boiled down to. So I imagine, like Floating Continent, you had Doomgaze, which almost got me. And let's see where else. There was
Oh yeah, you got through Doomgaze with like 100 health left on one character, didn't you?
Did
Watch
I?
out that one.
No, I
Was
think I
there-
got my people back up. I got 3 killed by level 5 Doom.
Alright,
I
it was
had
someone
no
else
trouble
then.
doing that.
No
I
one had.
almost got zombied. I almost got back to back zombited. Like,
Yes,
all in
on your
one
way out
turn.
of the floating continent at the end. That and then you were shocked.
Yes, then I was very in shock because
Uh,
that was terrifying. Because that last save was right at the start of the
Yeah,
combat.
I have to say I did heartily approve of your constant and thorough use of the rename cards.
Well, they're useful for communication.
Oh, I did have one question I've got written down here. When you did Magitech 3, had you just miscounted your espers, or what was going on there?
Oh, I knew that the idea was to go in and warp out after getting 2. I just my brain just kind of stopped working, so I just went ahead.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. This seed was long.
Yeah, but it was relaxing and it was fun. The bingo was really fun too.
One of
The
the
bingo was done after like an hour.
yeah. One of the big trip ups from the seed was actually the Strago, was the Strago Mog thing. It actually, that's how Bible ended up having to forfeit there during the race. Got tripped up on it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he didn't realize that you could go get him from the Moogle room, I guess.
The
Gotcha.
ruin, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't go for the whole take the item. I was like, it's so early. I can just avoid these squares and
Yeah, unfortunately, Strago was the lock of everything.
yeah, it was. I was so frustrated because I got all these characters and then none of their checks had anything. No espers. They were all dead.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Setzer.
wait.
Usually he's great for espers, but nope. And I
Oh,
did the
that-
Doomgaze early, not even an esper.
You think those were dead checks? Brianna actually did another series that went a different path and even got even more dead checks than you did.
I don't even know how that's possible because I mean there are 26 espers in the game, right? I mean, like eventually you just
Yes.
can't hit those dead checks anymore. But maybe there's still things we need to learn about this game.
The only characters we didn't see were Terra and Locke. There's probably a few checks that Brianna didn't do within the character set she has, but
Well,
like,
Brianna
there's
did.
there's a
Brianna
couple
did
savage
find
checks.
Terra. Brianna did find Terra.
And just
Terra
didn't
was
take her.
on the Doma Castle with the leader.
Oh,
With the leader check. So she did find Terra, but she turned around and said nope and just reset. So
also committing to not using the OP weapons, but it would have been fine. I was like, oh, I'll just get tier 3 magic eventually. And then here I am in Final
Nope.
Kefka, casting Bio and Ice 2.
Yeah, not only did the game not want to give anyone espers, it didn't want them to have spells. Brianna eventually found Fire 3 and Merton, but those were the only...
Well,
I guess there was Pearl also, but Pearl's real slow.
yeah, Pearl.
one thing you might not have noticed, there also, at least for me, was not a single shield upgrade. That's like not a Genji shield, not an Aegis shield, not a...
Yeah, I think we only
Flame,
saw
Thunder.
one ice shield, I think, the whole game, and
Yeah,
then
there was-
some Minervas.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
one
you don't
shield.
really...
One of Brianna's
yeah.
dead checks was an Aegis shield. So that's what the other path was, is to get those shields.
Yeah, you don't really realize how much you miss those shields until they don't show up.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, you could have gone and bought some Minervas, but I don't know how equipable they were.
They weren't, actually. I ended up selling a Minerva because nobody could equip them.
Ah!
Yeah, we didn't see that.
Yeah, Brianna's probably pretty happy she's just sitting on 2 girls in her party. That's good.
Yep, she's on stage 2 at the moment.
Yeah, so, you're second place overall after Zelfer, and you're 2 of the top racers in this community. And you both took, like, Zelfer finished 218, you're 244, so... I think we can be pretty confident saying the seed wasn't particularly easy or fast.
No, it really wasn't. Like, this is pretty much the roughest generation you can get in terms of check rewards.
And the start too. I mean, you're starting with 2 characters that only have 1 check each, so.
Oh yeah, and you spent a
Not
long
many.
time chasing down Ifrit at the start, which
Yeah, so
didn't go great.
Oh yeah, that too.
the first time I did it, I was just like, I have super balls. There's like a 50% chance I win here. And then I was like, okay, for it, that's fine. So I'll just go get something like wall rings. And then I got wall rings. And then it took like 5 minutes to find them. I was like, okay, this time I'll reflect the fire. And then he used atomic ray, which can't be reflected.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, okay, this time I'll go do another check and come back later.
Yeah, you probably just missed that timer with the leveling up for time. You probably just missed it from that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, longer it takes me to find Doomgaze, harder this boss is gonna be.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it
So-
also means more XP. But yeah,
Yeah.
it matters if you can kill the boss.
So when I was looking at this bingo card after I had rejiggered it to try to be keep upable with this seed, since I had made the seed wrong the first time, I thought for sure people would be going for that right column. Is there any particular reason that wasn't seemingly on your radar at all?
Yeah, we
Right
both said
column.
before the stream that the right column, that row 5, was probably the easiest one.
Yeah, it's easy. But I don't want to sleep at 6.
Okay.
That's all. I just didn't want to sleep at 6 ends.
Fair enough, I guess.
Okay.
Coliseum fights. Oh, I dropped the battery. Coliseum fights are. They can be a nightmare sometimes, especially if you don't plan around it. Even just 4 fights can be a RNG fest you don't want to deal with. And then 5 animals. I know where chocobos are, and maybe like a bird on Mount Zozo.
There's dogs in Mobliz. There's chocobos all over the place. There's a
Yeah.
bird on the beach. There's a bunch. There's like 3 different animals in Mobliz World of Balance. So, if you know where they are, which I did not list.
I think
Uh,
column 2 appealed to me because other than the blatant like no weapon restriction, it's super easy. And then Doomgaze without Search the Skies can be really fast and efficient. Like sometimes doing Doomgaze without Search the Skies is like optimal, if that makes sense. So I was like, yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. But I did have a little bit of bad luck with it, so it didn't pay off.
Yeah, it didn't work out super well for you, and then it turned out to be a dead check. I mean, a Valiant knife at least, but you had already elected not to use that.
It really just was the worst decisions possible to make that I made. But you know what? I'm gonna own those decisions, and just gonna carry that with me going forward.
All right then, you got any final thoughts on the seed?
Just who rolled this seed? Because I gotta put them on a list.
This was one of 40 seeds I rolled to get anything that worked at all.
Okay. Well,
Making a bingo manually is not easy if you want it to be doable without
we'll
like
just-
a massive scavenger hunt.
we'll just call it even then.
All right.
All right, you guys take care. Thank y'all.
All right, have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
So Brianna is on tier 3, making her way through here. So another time for us to say, hey, go follow the runners. And then go follow the other people, of which I am one. And let's again thank Grimwolf and Naku for doing so much work in the background. Because sometimes I forget to thank the tracker and the restreamer. Although, to be fair, I usually forget to thank the restreamer because it's me.
Well, this was actually an extra difficult tracker with a bingo board and all, so.
Actually, it was
Yeah,
easier
but-
than usual because the tracker had a spoiler lock.
Oh, true.
And only 3 people on screen. But, you know, it's not a job I could do. Oh, here comes some windy wind. It wasn't very windy. Tracking is the one restream job I've never tried to do, and I know I could not do it. I'm not good at parsing visual information and paying attention to a lot of things. But I'm very good at talking for no reason and just saying random nonsense. Oh, it's time for the guy hitting all the trained cinder block blues.
Yep. But Realm is gonna die, so not really affecting her much.
How much Life 3 usage today?
Life 3 was the first thing they learned. I mean,
Yeah.
so
How did Realm come back to life with
oh.
zeros on her? Oh, they're gone. That was
there we
weird.
go, yeah.
But on to Final Kafka with 4 peoples in the thing.
Da-da-da. Which I just realized now that Pogo for Mog, because he's the jumper. Pogo sticking. Hey.
You just realized that.
I just realized that now. I
It's
just go
been
over the
3 hours, man.
Oh, my eyes are starting to cross now.
You even laughed at it at the start. And I was like, yeah, I'll get it. Apparently,
No,
it took a little longer.
it went over my head.
So, Final Kafka. Time for Brianna to count some numbers. And just to remind people, we will be, especially the restreamer, we will be raiding over to the Jets of Time Randomizer's new Twitch channel after this. So go give them a check out. It's a solid randomizer. Still, in development, but I played it for the first time fairly recently, and it's good. It's good. I like it.
I'll have to try it out.
You have to play this game first.
Oh, this game, Final Fantasy VI, probably my top 3 favorite games of all time. That just from growing up and everything. Between this game and Ogre Battle 64, or I think the other one was like Final Fantasy Tactics. I think was the other one, but
Ooh,
those
Tactics
3
is a good game. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to amend that statement. Tactics is a good game if you never use a monk or a ninja or a calculator or any of the special
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, the calculator monk thing is that's it's pretty broken.
It's a fairly broken game, but it's fun, and you can control how broken you want it to be on a given run. So
Yeah.
I give it a pass on that. It does also have the broken problem of there's like 2 or 3 fights in the game where they're just almost impossible unless you do something broken.
Well, and yeah, it's for me though. I just used just summons just back to backs and just made everybody a summoner because that was the AOE. I hit everything and it never hurt my people. So I always just did summoner and just have 3 or 4 summoners on the team and just.
Well,
blast
we got
everything.
Brianna screen thing going on.
Oh, okay, we're back. We're good.
We good? We good.
But another one thing was, like I said, going back to Ogre Battle 64, is that the strats on that one was kind of broken there, where you put 3 knights or paladins in the front row, put your leader in the middle, dead middle, and you put the healer in the back middle row, and it was just automatic heals whole party every single time. So you just grind through the game like that. You had 3 parties of that, and you just beat the game that way.
Remember when Drillif took that 8,000 damage Havoc wing? Brianna just took a 1,400 damage Havoc wing.
Oof.
So a little bit of difference there.
The same target though.
Yeah, so we're into Beyond Chaos. I haven't been counting because counting is hard. You have to pay attention and stuff.
Celeste with a life 3 here.
Yeah, again, not at all concerned for Brianna, as I was not for Drew going into Final Kafka. It's just a matter of paying attention, which is a bit hard after 3-hour race.
Yeah, you start forgetting things or missing things like I did earlier just a second ago. And also, she actually has better spells going into it. And there it goes. Kafka goes down.
Yeah, so Brianna has finished with an official time of 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 11 seconds, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get her in for an interview, and then we will do some admin and raid over to Jets of Time. And in the meantime, I'll just do this again. Go follow our runners. Go follow the Restreamies. Saberwolf in the booth with me. I'm Mr. Energy. We got a Grimwolf doing some restreams. Naku doing some tracking. Drew with Brianna and Viable doing all the racing. All the racing. Like so many racing. Possibly too many racing. Well, yeah. I'm sure we all enjoyed watching everyone suffer.
So Brianna is coming in. Just have to give her a second.
Brianna has elected to do a text interview because some people can't not swear, including me most of the time. That's why I use my I'm in an interview.
You gotta put your interview face on.
Yeah, you got a code switch to the I'm. Actually, no, I swear more at jobs and in interviews than I ever have on this channel.
Being a firefighter, your brain just works differently. So you cuss a lot in your brain.
Yeah. Plus, if you swear at the fire, it gets scared.
Is that what Interceptor does?
Yeah, he just barks.
Yeah,
Barks and
still
swears. Does all the dog swears.
Yeah, working third shift, aka the graveyard shift, always tough too.
Yeah. I actually like working at night. There's less oversight, you can just get on with what you're doing usually. And if you're in a public-facing job, you often have to face the public a lot less.
Yeah.
But we should have Brianna loading up the streamy streams here shortly. I'll ask her a few questions and then head on over to Jets Time. And everyone, come join the Discord. We're mostly good people, even if some of us use Reverse Joker Doom or our Jack. Most of the rest of us are pretty good.
I mean, I'll attest to it that I joined this crew just only really a couple weeks ago. Nothing but helpful, good group of people. Very, it's been very welcoming here. So, and Brianna is in the chat.
Yeah. So I think my first question is just gonna be, how do you feel that one? I think it was a great seed with no issues for everybody.
Ah, she says.
That seems accurate. That seems accurate.
Definitely some patches where hair used to be and stuff after this run.
Yeah. I do have a few questions written down, although I don't actually remember what most of them mean because I wrote them in shorthand, and I don't remember the context. But one of them just says Siegfried ? Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Why'd you fight a Siegfried?
Yeah, we're wondering about that Siegfried random check there.
Well, fair enough. It seems like at a certain point, everyone just started doing things because they could.
Yeah.
I did notice you used Stray on Katana Soul to confuse him. That was a solid play.
Yeah, we were impressed by that play, actually.
Yeah, that was good. Stray not an Esper, you see. Used very often. And yeah, lots of characters. I set the character requirement at, I think, 5 to 6, randomized between those two numbers. And
higher number.
I didn't ask Zelfer in the chat how many characters he wound up with, but Drew had 11 and you had 10. So yeah, it seems like you saw 12. Yeah, and Numero's one check led to another character. So the only character we didn't actually ever see was Locke.
Yeah, the only one that was AFK was locked during this whole seed.
Yeah. So
Which I'm assuming was under Terras, I would assume.
It's gonna have to be there somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where all the extra espers were because it seems like there was maybe 10 or 11 extra checks left, which isn't enough for all the espers. That was weird.
Brianna, the back to back, just one dead check after another. I mean, that was rough.
Yeah, lots of dead checks as well. That was the other thing about this seed. Yeah, it was very, very reminiscent of Purple Berries. The only other question I still understand that's written down here is, how did you feel about that whole Kefket nurse thing at the start?
Oh, yeah.
Because that did not feel good watching it.
Yep, the level up into...
Kefket nurse was not
Yeah.
ever required. Strago was the requirement. You didn't need Setzer at all. He didn't lead to crap.
Oh, it wasn't Setzer, it was Edgar. Edgar was the...
All right, Edgar got you Setzer, which also led to nothing. But yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah, that center square, as I was telling everybody while streaming, that center square and knowing that Strago was the key to get everything for the rest of the game was such a perfect marriage of just horrible things to happen when you took the item.
Yeah, especially for Revival, who didn't know that you could go get Strago elsewhere afterwards. But yeah, I guess you got any other specific thoughts that aren't just yelling at people? Because I can see that happening.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah.
I saw you pause there for a bit and thinking. So
yeah, I think every runner at some point just stopped and went. Drew even renamed the character BRB and just left for a while.
Again, it's something that you never do. Like, you never go to Mog's, like, World of Ruin. You don't do the fish thing on the island. It's like, there's some random stuff in here that you don't usually do.
Well, yeah, you got any final thoughts there? Before we raid on over to Jets of Time? Yeah, I don't remember what the second cutscene you did was. I mean, I would have counted Siegfried. But, yeah.
Yeah, we had a discussion on the Siegfried one.
That was the only cutscene I remember is where Doma is. You did all the old lady ones. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have counted that. That's another... I will give you technically that does fit the rules, but I will just have to change the rules now.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember you talking to the old lady there multiple times.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have any other questions aside from it just says Tunnel Armor on here for some reason. I don't even remember what Tunnel Armor was.
Tunnel Armor was like the first boss of the whole thing.
Oh, then why did I write down Tunnel Armor and Kefket Nurse on two separate lines?
I have no idea.
I'm a good interviewer.
You're the one that made it.
I should replace all of the late night talk show hosts and just make all the guests play this seed.
Just torture them.
Well, yeah, you got any other questions for Brianna there, Saber?
I'm all set. Let's head on over to that raid there.
Yeah, so we'll just do the standard go follow our racers. And GG again to Brianna. Thanks for playing. Thanks for sticking it out for 3 goddamn hours. And go follow our runners. Go follow the Restream team. Me and Saber Wolf and Grim Wolf and It's Naku Wolf. And we're all wolves. It's a full moon tonight. We're reverse werewolves. That's why we're doing this. and can talk. We will be back next week with another weekly on Randomania. Please go check out our twitch.tv/FF6 Worlds Collide, our official Twitchy channel. And let's give a raid over to Jet's Time, because it's a good rando and people should check it out. And they got a new channel, Jets of Timmy. And we'll raid over to them, and you can all have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. And raid. Oh, they're not live anymore.
Oh, sad face.
Well, the people can